I woke up from my nap and erased the strongest demons in existence with one hand, like swatting flies. My junior sister watched me fight, and yeah, she totally started blushing. Can't blame her. Greatness has side effects. People ask how I got this strong. Simple. I follow the 9 to 5 rule. While everyone else breaks their bones working 24/7, I give my body the respect it deserves. Proper rest, proper routine, proper domination. But despite being a true disciple, the whole world still labels me a loser. A nobody. A waste of space. They think I'll never become anything. Cute, right? Because they're all dead wrong. Everything began 5 years ago, back when I literally worked myself to death, and reincarnated into this insane world. And from that moment, I made a vow, no matter what happens, I will never work even 1 second, past 9 to 5 ever again. Because a legendary master once said, follow your routine, and even a bald guy can kill a god. And I've been living by that scripture for 5 straight years. So yeah, while they sweat, grind, and struggle, I clock in, clock out, and still end up punching gods in the face. Welcome to my story. A tale of strict schedules, proper rest, and absolute destruction. At the start of the story, we're shown the King Tian sect, where 2 sects are engaged in a fierce battle. Members of the Demon Cloud sect shout arrogantly, King Tian sect disciples, you're nothing compared to us. Soon, the Demon Cloud sect will rule over the entire Manhwa continent. One of the King Tian sect disciple retorts, don't get too arrogant. Brother Hao Tian will be here soon, and when he arrives, none of you will survive. The Demon Cloud sect's elder laughs mockingly. Hao Tian, I've never heard that name among the top 10 disciples of King Tian sect. Are you seriously claiming that someone like him could defeat us? The others agree. As far as we know, there's no one named Hao Tian in their top ranks. The elder sneers, so this Hao Tian of yours isn't even a top disciple, and yet you think he can defeat the Demon Cloud sect? Let's end this quickly. But just as he launches his attack, a young man suddenly appears, blocking the strike effortlessly. The King Tian disciples cheer in relief. Brother Hao Tian is here. We're safe now. Hao Tian looks calm and confident. Good thing I arrived on time. The Demon Cloud elder growls. Don't get cocky just because you blocked one attack. You'll never defeat the Demon Cloud sect that easily. But Hao Tian simply raises his sword and releases a single strike, a strike so powerful that all the Demon Cloud sect members are instantly killed. After the battle, they discover demonic pills among the corpses. The disciples bow gratefully. Brother Hao Tian, thank you for saving us. Hao Tian replies, if I hadn't arrived in time, you'd all be dead. Weiren, tell me, what happened here? Weiren trembles. Brother Hao Tian, please forgive me. These demon cultivators, they're ruthless. They killed 10 disciples from the King Shao sect, just to refine their blood soul pills. That goes against all our sect's principles, so I acted recklessly and attacked them first. Hao Tian sighs. You were lucky this time. A true cultivator must act with reason, not emotion. You could have gotten everyone killed. Weiren bows his head. You're right, Brother Hao Tian. I made a terrible mistake. From now on, I'll think before I act. Suddenly, the demonic pill glows, releasing a surge of dark energy. The patriarch of the Demon Cloud sect appears. How dare you attack my sect? It seems you all have a death wish. Wei Ren's face turns pale. That's the Demon Cloud patriarch. He's a purple Chaos Realm cultivator, 7th level. But Hao Tian doesn't flinch. He swings his sword once again, and the patriarch's attack is completely nullified. The patriarch stares in disbelief. I'm at the 7th level of the purple Chaos Realm, and yet he blocked my strike so easily? This man, he's not ordinary. He smirks and says, you're strong. I'll give you an offer. Join the Demon Cloud sect. I'll make you my #1 elder. You'll have authority, power, and countless treasures at your disposal. Hao Tian chuckles. That's quite a tempting offer. But from what I know, the Demon Cloud sect makes its members wake up early and work until late at night. That kind of harsh life isn't for me. In my King Tian sect, I only have to work limited hours, and that suits me just fine. The patriarch insists, don't worry about the workload. The harder you work, the greater the rewards. Hao Tian smirks. So, you're saying I'd have to work more? Then no thanks. The King Tian sect may not be the richest, but it's righteous and peaceful. Why would I ever join a garbage sect like yours? He slashes his sword once again, releasing an overwhelming blast that engulfs the patriarch. The patriarch panics. This attack, it's too powerful. A massive explosion follows. The ground trembles as smoke fills the air. Weiren cheers. I told you, Brother Hao Tian can do anything. The other disciples stare in awe and fear. His techniques, are they really from our sect? Patriarch mutters. Why did you even do this, Hao Tian? Hao Tian replies coolly. I've been through a lot in my life. I'm not the kind of person who falls for empty promises. If I had joined your sect, you would have worked me like a slave. Sorry, but I prefer working 9 to 5, not 24/7. The patriarch shouts, "That's not what I meant. I just wanted to know, how are you this powerful?" The patriarch's soul tries to escape, but Hao Tian points his sword toward it. "You really think you can just run away from me? Not a chance." He sheaths his sword and checks the time. It's already evening. My mission is complete." He turns and walks away calmly. The disciples stare in disbelief. Why did Brother Hao Tian let the demon cloud leader escape so easily? Wei Ren laughs. "You don't get it. Brother Hao Tian's way of cultivation is unique. He only works from 9 to 5. And as you can see, it's already evening. His working hours are over." Everyone else was stunned. "So you're saying, he left because his workday ended?" Wei Ren nods seriously. "Exactly. That's the 9 to 5 cultivation principle." Later, at the King Tian sect, disciples train hard, while Hao Tian was sleeping peacefully. One student whispers, "Look at him, he's napping again. How did someone like him become a true disciple of King Tian sect?" Hao Tian mumbles to himself, "I stayed up late last night, that's why I'm so tired today. Ever since I became a true disciple, they've been making me work too hard. If I'd known it would be like this, I'd never have accepted the title." He then reflects on his past life. "It's been 5 years since I arrived in this world. In my previous life, I worked under a harsh boss, who forced me to work non-stop, even when I was sick. I worked until my vision blurred, and when I finally collapsed, instead of helping me, my boss said, 'Save the files first, or all his work will go to waste.' That's how I died, working to death. When I opened my eyes again, I was reborn on Blue Star, as a humble true disciple of the King Tian sect. But even here, they kept saying, 'You're a true disciple, Hao Tian. You must work from dawn to dusk. You're young, don't be lazy. Only hard work brings success.' But I made up my mind. I'll never repeat the mistakes of my past life. Even if the gods themselves appear, I will not work overtime. That's when I created my own rule, the 9 to 5 principle. No one can make me work after 5 p.m. or before 9 a.m. If I hadn't created that rule, I'd be stuck doing intense training, just like everyone else." Wei Ren said, "Brother Hao Tian, the sect leader is calling for you. He wants to discuss yesterday's mission and needs all the details." Hao Tian replied, "You didn't leak any information about me, did you?" Wei Ren quickly shook his head. No, brother, don't worry. I made sure everyone knows not to talk about your strength. No one will say a word." Hao Tian nodded approvingly. "Good job, Wei Ren. All right, I'll go now. Next time you're free, I'll teach you a few tricks." Wei Ren smiled gratefully. "Thank you, Brother Hao Tian. You've always been so kind to me." A moment later, Hao Tian arrived at the main hall to meet the sect leader. As he walked, he thought about the cultivation system of Blue Star Planet. First realm, key refining. Second realm, foundation establishment. Third realm, golden core. Fourth realm, spiritual realm. Fifth realm, purple chaos. Sixth realm, transcendent realm. Each realm had 9 stages, and among all cultivators, the most powerful in the King Tian Sword sect was their sect leader, Wan Jian, a man known as the Sword God of King Tian, currently at the 6th level of the transcendent realm. When Hao Tian entered, he bowed respectfully. "Sect leader, how have you been?" When Jian replied in a stern tone, "Hao Tian, show some seriousness. You should remember that this is the main hall of our sect." Hao Tian smirked slightly, then took out a box. "Sect leader, I've finished cultivating the new Yun Spirit Tea." When Jian's eyes widened in surprise. "What? You cultivated Yun Spirit Tea? That's incredible. It's been a long time since I last tasted such fine tea." Hao Tian thought to himself, no one knows that the Sword God of King Tian is a complete tea addict. Using my modern world knowledge and cultivation skills, I managed to create a high-grade specialty tea. Thanks to that, I've built a great relationship with the leader, and he hardly makes me work at all. After a few sips, when Jian asked, "So, about yesterday's mission, some disciples told me you saved them. Is that true?" Hao Tian replied casually, "Saving them was just a coincidence. While fighting the Demon Cloud sect, I found this near one of their corpses." He handed the box over. When Jian opened it, his expression turned serious. "This is a blood soul pearl." He glared at Hao Tian. "Hao Tian, do you realize what this means? If the Demon Cloud sect discovers you have this, they'll come after you relentlessly." Hao Tian sighed. "Honestly, I don't care. If the sect leader doesn't have anything else to say, I'll be taking my leave." As he turned to go, he thought, "Sect leader, I'm sorry, but I'm not getting involved in this mess. You can deal with the Demon Cloud sect yourself." When Jian called out, "Wait, Hao Tian, I didn't summon you just for that. There are other matters to discuss. Even though you've made a remarkable contribution by creating this special tea, as a true disciple, you've been far too lazy lately. Last week, you were supposed to teach sword techniques to the younger disciples. Why didn't you?" Hao Tian replied calmly, "By the time my turn came, it was already evening. And as I've said before, I only work between 9 to 5. If it's after hours, I won't teach. I hope you can understand that, sect leader. When Jian's eyebrow twitched, because you skipped your session, all 4 hall masters came to me with complaints. They said you don't deserve the position of true disciple at all. Hao Tian blinked in surprise. They really said that? When Jian hesitated, did I go too far with him? But Hao Tian smiled happily. Oh, that's great news. If I lose my true disciple position, then no one can force me to work anymore. Sect leader, when exactly are you planning to demote me? When Jian's face turned red with anger. Don't even think about it. Since the founding of the King Tian Sword sect, no true disciple has ever been demoted back to inner disciple. If I did that, it would be a huge disgrace to me and the elders. Hao Tian sighed dramatically. I knew it. Guess I'm not that lucky after all. Just then, a voice called from outside. Sect leader, senior brother Hao Tian, may I come in? A young woman entered and bowed gracefully. When Jian smiled. Perfect timing, Jianni. Jianni spoke politely. Sect leader, we have 10,000 inner disciples in our sect. All of them work tirelessly, hoping one day to become true disciples. Yet brother Hao Tian, who already holds such a prestigious position, wants to throw it away. Narrator explained, this is Jianni, one of the top 2 disciples of the King Tian Sword sect. At a very young age, she had already reached the 4th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. She was so talented that many believed she would be the next sect leader. Hao Tian thought. Meanwhile, I'm ranked 55th out of 55 true disciples, basically last place. He said honestly, Jianni, you don't understand. I've been stuck at my current cultivation level for a long time. If I return to being an inner disciple, I'll have more time to train freely, and maybe break through to the next realm. Jianni's eyes widened. Senior brother Hao Tian, you're incredible. I've heard rumors that you're lazy, but now I see how dedicated you really are to your cultivation. Please forgive me, I completely misjudged you. When Jian nearly choked on his tea, he couldn't believe what he was hearing. The sect leader then said seriously, Hao Tian, I actually called Jianni here for another reason. The hall masters have requested that you accompany her on a mission. She's one of our top disciples. You could learn a lot from her. Upon hearing that, Hao Tian's face went pale. He groaned. Sect leader, you're joking, right? Hao Tian was thinking, because of Jianni, the level of competition in this sect has skyrocketed. She's worked tirelessly, day and night, just to become a top true disciple. How can someone as lazy as me possibly go on a mission with someone that hardworking? Sect leader Wen Jian said firmly, Jianni is the #1 true disciple of our sect. Many others wish they could learn from her, yet you're hesitating even when I'm giving you this great opportunity? Hao Tian replied, Sect leader, I'm just worried that my presence might slow her down, or cause her unnecessary trouble. He thought to himself, Jianni definitely won't want someone like me tagging along, and delaying her mission. But Jianni smiled warmly. Senior brother, you think too much. We're from the same sect, so we should help each other improve. Besides, if you come with me, it'll silence all those people who think you're lazy and incapable. Hao Tian thought helplessly, what's wrong with this girl? Why is she so determined to involve me in everything? He sighed and said, Sect leader, fine, I'll go on this mission. But I have a feeling that after this, no one will ever be able to refine my special tea leaves again. Then he muttered under his breath, Sect leader, I work by principles, but sending me on this mission is truly low of you. Why should I leave the sect, when I could just stay here and rest comfortably? Wen Jian smiled slyly. If you complete this mission successfully, I'll give you 3 days of paid leave. Hao Tian's eyes lit up instantly. 3 days off? Sect leader, you're truly a good man. Tell me quickly, where's the mission location? No matter how dangerous it is, I'll definitely complete it. Wen Jian sighed internally, this guy really is something else. I knew he wouldn't agree until I bribed him with vacation time. Later that afternoon, Jianni was already training intensely. Hao Tian arrived lazily and said, Jianni, why are you training so hard even in the middle of the day? Jianni frowned slightly. Senior brother, you're 1 hour late. Hao Tian shrugged. I'm not late, I just take a 1-hour nap after lunch. You know about the 9 to 5 principle, right? There's always an hour for lunch. Jianni sighed in disbelief. Senior brother, every second matters in cultivation. An hour is a huge amount of time. While you were sleeping, I already performed 3,000 sword strikes. That's why you're still stuck in the spiritual realm. You're not an ordinary man who should be resting. You're a true disciple. A true cultivator never rests. Hao Tian raised an eyebrow. Don't you think you're talking a bit too much? You've lectured more than you've trained. Anyway, don't worry. After this mission, I'll double my cultivation effort. He thought to himself, I knew it. She just couldn't resist bringing up my training again. Jianni said, alright, senior brother, let's head out. What do you think this mission is about, anyway? Hao Tian replied lazily, the mission is at Tianyan Mountain. We're supposed to investigate the area, because villagers nearby have been disappearing. That place is close to King Xia City's blood sacrifice ruins, so it's possible that the demon sect is behind the vanishings. Jianni nodded seriously. I was thinking the same thing. Don't worry, senior brother, if anything happens, I'll protect you. You may only be in the spiritual realm, but you have nothing to fear while I'm around. Hao Tian smiled politely. Thank you for saying that, Jianni. Then he thought privately, I doubt I'll need to do any work on this mission. She'll probably handle everything for me. When they arrived at Tianyan Mountain, Jianni said, Senior brother, we should start by gathering information from the local villagers. But Hao Tian glanced at the sky, then checked his watch. Jianni asked curiously, Senior brother, why are you checking the time? Hao Tian said casually, Oh, it's 5 p.m. My work hours are over. I'm heading off to rest. You go ahead and investigate. Bring me the information later. I'll meet you tomorrow at 9 a.m. That evening, Hao Tian went into town and checked into an inn. The innkeeper said, 1 room costs 1 silver tael. While paying, Hao Tian noticed something strange. The innkeeper's hand had black marks all over it. Still, Hao Tian thought, I don't care right now. It's my rest time. He entered his room and lay down comfortably. I wonder how Jianni's investigation is going. After some time, he was awakened by a commotion outside. A man was shouting, there are no rooms left. Go somewhere else. Hao Tian sat up and frowned. That voice, it sounds familiar. He stepped out to see Jianni, arguing with the innkeeper. She said angrily, I'm willing to pay double. Why won't you give me a room? The man replied, I told you, there are no rooms available. Just then, Hao Tian approached. If there are no rooms available, then don't trouble her. Innkeeper, can she share my room instead? The innkeeper nodded. Fine, that's acceptable. Jianni said nervously, wait, are we really going to stay in the same room? Senior brother, don't you think that's a bit inappropriate? Hao Tian sighed and replied flatly, stop talking and just follow me quietly. Jianni followed him silently, her face slightly flushed. She thought to herself, why am I so nervous? It's not like anything's going to happen. Besides, if he even thinks of doing something, I'm way stronger than him. I'll just beat him up. Once inside, Hao Tian asked, have you had dinner yet? Jianni shook her head. No, not yet. Hao Tian said casually, all right then, have some of these cookies. Jianni frowned. Senior brother, as cultivators, we shouldn't give in to worldly desires, especially not food cravings. Desires like that can disturb our cultivation. Before she could finish, Hao Tian gently pushed a cookie into her mouth. She blinked in surprise. It's actually delicious. And for some reason, I feel good after eating it. Out loud, she said, Senior brother, why did you attack me with this cookie? Hao Tian chuckled. Just tell me, did you like the taste? Jianni hesitated. Well, yes, it was tasty. But cultivators shouldn't indulge in food. We should eat only what's necessary. Hao Tian shook his head. Everything you just said is wrong. Do you really think ignoring your desires makes you stronger? That's impossible. Suppressing them will only harm you, physically and mentally. We live in a world where we can't simply ignore our nature. The more you resist your desires, the more they'll torment you. To overcome them, you must face them. Take this cookie for example. You're scared it'll distract you because it tastes good, right? But that's not the solution. You should eat it until it becomes ordinary to you, until its taste no longer controls you. That's when you'll truly understand real cultivation. Don't blindly follow others' words. Listen to your own heart. Then Hao Tian thought, maybe I said too much. She looks like her brain's about to crash. Jianni's eyes sparkled as if she'd realized a great truth. Senior brother, I understand now. To truly master cultivation, I must face my desires directly. And with that, she began eating all the cookies at lightning speed. Hao Tian's jaw dropped. Wait, what? That's not what I meant. I told you to get used to them, not finish everything today. He sighed in defeat, lay back on the bed, and said, all right, I'm going to sleep. You can take the floor. Jianni replied, don't worry, senior brother. I plan to cultivate through the night anyway. As Jianni began meditating, a shadowy figure appeared outside their door. The man muttered, I told you to leave earlier, but you didn't listen. Now you've forced me to do this. He lit a stick that released a strange smoke. Inside the room, Jianni wrinkled her nose. What's that smell? Wait, could it be poison? Moments later, she collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Before fainting, she whispered weakly, Senior brother, please, run. Hao Tian slowly opened his eyes, frowning. Even when she's fainting, she's worried about me. Outside, the innkeeper was speaking to a cloaked man. Lord, the disciples from King Tian's sword sect are inside. I burned the soul separation stick outside their door. One of them is named Jianni, a true disciple of the sect. The other, I don't know his name, but she called him Senior brother. The cloaked man smirked. Impressive. You managed to knock out Jianni. As for her senior brother, I've never heard of him. The innkeeper said anxiously, they won't recognize me. my lord. Thanks to your spell, I've done everything perfectly. The man nodded. Good work. The innkeeper pleaded, please, my lord, release my wife and children, as you promised. The man smiled coldly. Don't worry, they're perfectly fine. In fact, you'll be meeting them soon. He drew his sword, and killed the innkeeper instantly. My final sacrifice will soon be complete, he called out. Number 3. Number 4. Go to the inn and bring me the 2 King Tian sword sect disciples. Sometime later, Jianni's eyes slowly opened. Hao Tian, sitting nearby. Ah, good, you're finally awake. Jianni groaned. Senior brother Hao Tian, this place is dangerous. We need to get out of here. Then she froze. He was completely fine. Wait, how are you even conscious? Your cultivation is lower than mine. You should have been the first to pass out. Hao Tian shrugged. I sleep lightly, and I breathe slowly. Meanwhile, you were cultivating intensely, which made your breathing faster. That's why the soul separation smoke affected you, not me. I noticed no one came in after a while, so I opened the window to clear the air and neutralize the toxin. Jianni thought to herself in shock. That was the soul separation stick. Anyone below the purple chaos realm would have been fatally poisoned. Hao Tian continued calmly. Jianni, it seems you still lack experience in the field. When you're on a mission, you must always stay alert. If you had been alone tonight, you might not have survived. Jianni bowed her head. Thank you, senior brother. I promise I'll be more careful next time. Hao Tian waved his hand. No worries. Just relax. Here, have some tea. It'll make you feel better. Jianni looked at him with new admiration. According to the rumors, Hao Tian was lazy and careless, but he clearly understands cultivation better than anyone I know. He saved my life tonight, and he's actually really kind and handsome too. Then she suddenly caught herself blushing. Wait, what am I thinking? Hao Tian asked. Jianni, how's your recovery? She quickly replied. I'm fine now, senior brother Hao Tian. Just then, they both sensed movement outside. Someone, or something, was rapidly approaching their room. Jianni said seriously, senior brother, there's a strong killing intent in this area. We need to stay alert. These enemies seem to have very high cultivation. Hao Tian stretched lazily and replied, all right, since you've recovered, you can handle everything. Besides, this isn't during my working hours, so I'm not doing any hard work right now. As Jianni stepped outside, she muttered under her breath, he's really strange, but honestly, even if he had shown up here, it wouldn't have made any difference. Both of those enemies are at the purple chaos realm, and for someone still in the spiritual realm, it's impossible to fight them. Still, I'm already angry about what happened earlier, and they showed up at the perfect time for me to vent it out. With that, she launched a powerful strike toward the 2 figures. They were disciples from the Purple Spirit Sect, one of the 4 major sects of the Manhwa continent. Jianni demanded, Purple Spirit Sect disciples, what are you doing here? But then she noticed something odd. Wait, judging by your eyes, you're under someone's blood control spell. Only the demonic sect uses that kind of magic. That means they're definitely behind the disappearance of the villagers. She assessed their strength. They're at the 3rd and 4th levels of the Purple Chaos Realm, but no matter. Even if they're powerful, they can't stand against me. With that, she unleashed another deadly sword slash. The enemies dodged quickly. Jianni shouted, change direction, and the redirected strike hit them both squarely. Meanwhile, inside the room, Hao Tian was watching everything through his divine sense. Splitting her sword energy, that's a clever technique, though it must have drained her power. Still, watching battles through divine sense is pretty fun. I don't even have to open my eyes. But I doubt these Purple Spirit Sect disciples will go down that easily. One of the female enemies screamed, how dare someone from King Tian Sword Sect injure my finger? Jianni replied coldly, from your condition, it seems you haven't completely become a blood puppet yet. The woman hissed, then you'll die for that injury. She attacked ferociously, but Jianni blocked it easily. She's using such a heavy weapon so effortlessly, she's dangerous. The 2 of them clashed violently, their battle shaking the ground. Jianni gritted her teeth. What kind of strength is this? Even I'm starting to feel pressure from her attacks. The enemy then charged up another deadly strike, but Jianni deflected it with a smooth motion. Jianni said firmly, enough warm up, let's start the real fight. From inside, Hao Tian smiled slightly. She really deserves her rank as a top disciple. In just a short time, she's already analyzed her opponent completely. Both are at the Purple Chaos Realm, but since the Purple Spirit Sect disciple is already half a blood puppet, she's only fighting by instinct. Jianni won't have much trouble beating her, though she doesn't realize, the real danger isn't them. With that, Hao Tian released a few of his special tea leaves, imbued with spiritual energy, sending them toward Jianni. This should be enough to help her. The infused energy boosted Jianni's strength. Her next strike hit directly, sending the female enemy crashing to the ground. Jianni exhaled and said, now that you're both down, we'll question you once you regain consciousness. Suddenly, second disciple from the purple spirit sect appeared behind her and launched a fierce sneak attack. Gianni spun around instantly, activating her spiritual shield, but the impact shattered it completely. Just before the fatal blow landed, a green light flashed across the room, deflecting the attack. Gianni gasped. If that green light hadn't appeared, I'd be dead by now. Wait, was that a tea leaf? With newfound determination, she surged forward, delivering a final strike that knocked out her opponent as well. She then dragged both unconscious disciples back to their room. Hao Tian looked up lazily from his bed. Looks like you finished the job, huh? Gianni, still catching her breath, asked, Senior brother, did you help me just now? Hao Tian yawned. What are you talking about? I've been asleep this whole time. I have no idea what happened out there. Gianni frowned slightly. No, never mind. I must be imagining things. It's impossible for someone at the spiritual realm's 6th level to use abilities like that anyway. Senior brother, their true souls are still intact. We should take them back to the King Tian Sword sect immediately. Using a demon cleansing formation, we can clear their minds and remove the blood puppet technique. But if we do that, the demonic sect members will likely escape and start capturing villagers somewhere else. Hao Tian thought for a moment. For the sake of these villagers, and my 3-day vacation, looks like I'll have to do something about this myself. He raised his hand, releasing a gentle flow of spiritual energy. Gianni asked anxiously, Senior brother, what are you doing? Hao Tian replied calmly, I'm going to use my divine sense to enter their spiritual seas and erase the blood puppet control from their minds. Gianni's eyes widened. Senior brother, that's too dangerous. The true soul resides within the spiritual sea. Even a small mistake could destroy it completely. But Hao Tian smiled confidently. Don't worry, Gianni. I can handle this. I'll make sure it works perfectly. Gianni said worriedly, Senior brother, you're entering both of their spiritual seas at the same time? Don't you think that goes against the heavens' rules? Hao Tian replied calmly, removing the blood puppet curse from both minds simultaneously is the fastest way. Gianni frowned. The issue isn't speed, Senior brother, it's safety. Then we see one of the rescued disciples stirring. Faner murmured, Jian, you're awake too. Jian looked around weakly. Faner, are you alright? Wait, you too, you're disciples from the King Tian Sword sect, aren't you? Gianni nodded with a gentle smile. Yes, I'm Gianni, and this is my senior brother, Yunhao Tian. Faner added respectfully, senior sister Gianni is the head disciple of King Tian Sword sect. She's the one who saved us. Jian nodded as her memories returned. I remember now, we were captured by a demon sect elder. Thank you both for rescuing us. Hao Tian asked curiously, can you tell us exactly how you were captured? Jian explained, a few days ago, our sect sent Fanger and me here to investigate the mysterious disappearances in this village. During our search, we discovered that a demon sect elder was performing blood sacrifice rituals nearby. But before we could act, he trapped us using a powerful formation. Our spiritual energy was completely suppressed, and then he cast a spell on us, turning us into his blood puppets. We're deeply grateful that you freed us. Gianni smiled slightly. You don't need to thank me. It was senior brother Hao Tian who saved you both. Jian turned to him and bowed. Senior brother Hao Tian, thank you for your help. If you ever need anything in the future, please ask us. We'll surely repay your kindness. Gianni added proudly, just a while ago, senior brother removed the blood puppet curse from both of you. He did it so quickly that I was honestly shocked. Usually, those blood puppet bindings go deep inside the spiritual sea, making them nearly impossible to remove. Even our elders would think twice before attempting such a risky procedure, let alone entering 2 spiritual seas at once. When I asked him how he mastered this technique, he told me that he once wandered into the scripture hall by mistake and found an incomplete scroll describing a method to enter the spiritual sea directly. Intrigued, he studied it on his own and somehow perfected it. Gianni looked at him in disbelief. Wait, you're using an incomplete scroll? That means you're not even sure whether it truly works or not. Hao Tian smiled slyly. I don't need your concern, junior sister Gianni. Instead of thanks, you can repay me with spirit stones. Saving you both cost me a lot of expensive materials, at least 30,000 high-grade spirit stones. Gianni's eyes widened. She thought, that's nonsense. I was right here the whole time. He didn't use a single material. And these two aren't dumb enough to believe him, are they? But Jian said earnestly, all right, senior brother. Once we return to the sect, we'll compensate you, no matter the amount. Gianni's jaw nearly dropped. They actually believed him. Meanwhile, Hao Tian thought smugly, the demon-slaying formation used to remove a blood puppet curse costs at least 500,000 spirit stones to set up. So, really, 30,000 is a bargain. I'm not even profiting from this. There's no rush to pay me back. Our King Tian Sword sect and your Purple Spirit sect are allies. Helping you is simply our duty. Now, Can you tell us more about the demon sect elder who captured you? Jian replied, his name is Muan. He isn't particularly strong. I could defeat him in a fair fight, but he's extremely skilled in using poison formations. He poisoned both of us during the battle. Hao Tian nodded thoughtfully. I see. Then I'll need to prepare a pill that can make us immune to poison for at least 3 hours. Once you take it, do you think you two can defeat this elder? Jian said confidently, if we're immune to his poison, we can take him down within minutes. But wait, will it just be the 3 of us fighting? Senior brother Hao Tian, aren't you coming with us? Hao Tian yawned. It's not that I don't want to go, but purging the blood puppet curse used up a lot of my spiritual energy. I need to rest and recover first. Jian frowned, clearly annoyed. He's using that excuse again. Meanwhile, Jian and Fang'er bowed deeply. Senior brother, please rest well. We're sorry for causing you so much trouble. The 3 then left the inn. As they walked, Jian held the glowing pill in her hand. This pill looks powerful, but will it really make us immune to poison? Jian smiled confidently. I have full faith in senior brother Hao Tian. If he made it, it will work for sure. The 3 swallowed their pills. Jian said after a moment, it dissolved in my mouth immediately. It tastes ordinary, nothing special. Fang'er added, true. But even though senior brother Hao Tian's cultivation isn't very high, I believe his alchemy is trustworthy. This pill will definitely work. Then Jian suddenly stopped. Wait a second, something's not right. Fang'er looked around. You're right. For nearly half a kilometer, I can't sense a single living creature. Jian's eyes widened. Wait, does that mean? Before she could finish, a deep, cold voice echoed around them. It means, you've just stepped into my formation. Instantly, Jian unleashed a powerful sword strike, breaking the illusion. The scene shifted, rotting wood, mud, and blood-soaked ground surrounded them. Jian said grimly, this place reeks of death. Countless people have been sacrificed here. Do you see him, the man who just spoke? Suddenly, a dark figure appeared behind her. Muan grinned menacingly. Were you looking for me? The 3 turned in shock. Muan, he laughed. So, you're the ones who freed my blood puppets. Impressive. The top disciples of King Tian's sword sect really do have some skill. But I can't help but notice, someone's missing. Did your senior brother run away after hearing my name? Jian glared at him. He's not here because he doesn't need to deal with trash like you. We're more than enough to handle this. With that, she charged forward, unleashing a fierce attack straight at Muan. As the smoke cleared, Muan stood unharmed, laughing darkly. You really thought killing me would be that easy? I'm an elder of the Demon Cloud sect. Killing me is not so simple. Just then, Fang'er appeared behind him and launched a deadly strike. But Muan blocked the attack effortlessly and sneered. As expected, disciples of righteous sects are all fools. Can't you smell my bone-tempering poison spreading through the air? The 2 purple spirit sect disciples immediately panicked, coughing as the air thickened with poison. Then Jian charged in and slashed at Muan with her sword. He raised his arm to block, but his eyes widened in shock. Her strike released a massive explosion that shook the ground. Jian muttered, looks like I missed, scanning the smoke. But soon, a new wave of poison gas spread around them. Muan smirked. So, you still have some tricks left, huh? It doesn't matter. You've already inhaled my bone-tempering poison. Now, it's impossible for you to survive. He laughed cruelly. You're all going to die soon. There's very little time left. But when Muan looked down again, wait a minute, there are only 2 of you here. Suddenly, Jian appeared behind him and struck fiercely, sending Muan crashing into the ground. Immediately, Fang'er followed up with another devastating attack. Muan screamed as the blow hit, blood splattering the ground. What's happening? How are you all still standing? My bone-tempering poison is far stronger than soul separation smoke. Even if you held your breath, it should have entered your body through your skin. The only antidote is my unique one, so how are you alive? Jian thought to herself, senior brother Hao Tian is truly amazing. Thanks to his pill, we can fight Muan without being affected by his poison. Muan clenched his teeth. This is impossible. The bone-tempering poison seeps into every pore, only I can create the antidote. Could it be, they have some secret treasure protecting them? Jian pointed her sword at him. Your escape routes are gone, Muan. It's time for you to die. Muan chuckled darkly. You're right, it is time for someone to die. But that someone isn't me. It's all of you. He suddenly leaped into the air and shouted, heavenly blood refinement. A blood-red aura burst from his body as the ground trembled. Everyone looked up in shock. What's happening? Muan laughed maniacally. I told you already, you're inside my formation. Number 1. Come out and kill them all. A moment later, a terrifying blood puppet emerged from the shadows. Jian gasped, this one's cultivation, it's at the 6th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. This will be extremely difficult. Muan smirked. Don't think any of you will leave here alive. Even that lazy fool hiding in the inn won't survive. I've already sent number 2 to deal with him. He's at the 5th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Gianni's eyes widened. Oh no, senior brother Hao Tian is in danger. He's probably still sleeping peacefully. That monster will kill him. Meanwhile, inside the inn, the blood puppet number 2 entered Hao Tian's room, only to find it completely empty. Next door, Hao Tian was lying comfortably on another bed. He muttered, "People expect me to fight all the time. Not happening. I'm resting." Suddenly, the door burst open. The blood puppet lunged at him. Hao Tian sighed and sat up slowly. "So, you're the one making all this noise, huh? If you didn't find me the first time, you could have just left quietly. But no, you had to barge in and disturb my rest." Back at the battlefield, Gianni slashed at number 1, but he dodged effortlessly. Jian attacked from behind, but the puppet easily blocked her strike and grabbed her weapon, throwing it aside with monstrous strength. Then Fanger shouted, activating her purple cloud chains, a powerful spiritual binding technique that wrapped around the puppet's limbs. Gianni seized the opportunity and unleashed a powerful finishing strike, impaling number 1 through the chest. For a moment, they sighed in relief, but suddenly, the puppet's body began to regenerate, his wounds closing instantly. Gianni exclaimed, "What? He can regenerate? How are we supposed to defeat something like this?" Number 1 roared and lunged forward, striking Fanger and sending her flying. Seeing Fanger injured, Jian's eyes filled with rage. She charged and unleashed her strongest technique, but the puppet countered and threw her back violently. Gianni clenched her fists. "This demon is too strong, and if we can't stop it, we'll all die." Jian said desperately, "I have one technique that can destroy him in a single blow, but it takes time to prepare. If you can hold him off for a while, I can finish it." Gianni nodded firmly. "Don't worry, leave everything to me." Outside the formation, Muon laughed mockingly. "Take all the time you want. Number 1 is my perfect blood puppet. Even if you kill him, he'll resurrect endlessly. Soon, you'll all become sacrifices for my ritual." But suddenly, Muon frowned, sensing something strange. Then he smirked. "Humph, seems number 2 finished his task. That other disciple must have been weak, killed easily." However, at that exact moment, Hao Tian stood over the corpse of number 2, binding him with glowing chains of spiritual light. "Well, that's one less problem. But I can't let your master know you're dead, otherwise, he'll focus all his attention on me." He cracked his neck and sighed. "I really just wanted to nap peacefully, but since you disturbed me, I'll give you a little parting gift." He grabbed the blood puppet by the hair, dragged him to the window, and muttered, "All right then, your master's over there, right? Let's send you home." With that, he flung the puppet straight toward Muon's direction, his body flying through the air like a meteor. "Now then, let's see if there's another quiet room around here. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, plenty of time for a nap. I just hope no one else bothers me." Meanwhile, back at the battlefield, Gianni was suddenly struck by a violent attack, the impact throwing her several meters across the ground. She slid through the dirt, coughing up blood, but her grip on her sword remained firm. Gianni said breathlessly, "This formation, it's not just strengthening the barrier, it's also making the puppet even more powerful." Muon smirked arrogantly. "Impressive. As expected from a disciple of the King Tian sword sect, you've lasted much longer than I expected. But now, your strength is fading fast." He raised his hand and commanded, "Number 1, full power attack. Kill her." Gianni gritted her teeth, her sword trembling. "Jian, how much longer do you need? I won't be able to block this one." Just then, Muon's eyes widened. He sensed something rapidly approaching. "What's that rushing toward me at such speed?" A split second later, number 2, the second blood puppet, crashed into the formation, causing a massive explosion. The entire area shook violently. When the smoke cleared, number 2 had been obliterated. Muon shouted in disbelief. "What? How is this possible? Number 2 is destroyed, but how?" Gianni's eyes lit up. "That must mean senior brother Hao Tian is fine. Did an elder arrive to help us?" Muon's expression darkened. "Your elder came here? If the King Tian sect's elder is here, then this could become troublesome." He quickly formed hand seals, muttering dark incantations. The ground beneath Gianni's feet began to tremble, as thick mud and blood swirled together, trying to trap her. "What's happening?" she gasped, struggling to break free. Jian suddenly called out, "Gianni, sorry for the delay, my attack is ready. Now it's time to end this." Muon's eyes widened again. "Wait, she's only at the 4th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. How is she channeling an 8th level attack?" Jian leapt into the air, shouting, "Purple Shadow Heavenly Technique." Her sword exploded with violet energy, striking the ground with cataclysmic force. The shockwave ripped through the battlefield. Meanwhile, Hao Tian was peacefully putting on his sleeping mask in the inn. "I'm not letting anyone disturb me again." A few hours later, he woke up, stretching lazily. Finally, a proper nap, though. Judging by the explosions outside, they're still fighting? Honestly, those 3 are working hard. Handling that demon sect elder probably isn't as tough as they make it sound. He checked the time casually and shrugged. Back at the battlefield, the dust began to settle. Jian stood victorious. Number 1 had been completely destroyed, but she looked exhausted, barely standing. Jiani said, "Your attack, it carried incredible explosive force." Fanger explained, "That's one of our purple spirit sect's secret techniques. It gathers spiritual energy into a single point, releasing it all at once for a high-level strike. But the side effects are serious, and gathering that much energy takes a long time." Jian smiled weakly. "Thank you, Jiani. You've helped us more than we can ever repay." Jiani waved it off. "No need for that. I was just doing my duty." From the distance, Muan, wounded but still alive, shouted furiously, "You filthy brats. You destroyed my masterpiece, Number 1. It took me 10 full years to create him." Fanger turned to Jian. "Jian, you can't use that technique again. Your spiritual energy is completely drained." Jiani stepped forward. "Don't worry. I'll take care of the rest." Muan sneered. "Take care of me? Don't make me laugh. None of you are leaving here alive. Even if you beg for mercy, you'll all die tonight." He lunged forward, launching a deadly strike toward Jiani. But she countered instantly, her sword glowing with fierce light. Their attacks collided with a thunderous impact. Muan laughed mockingly. "You think you can hurt me? That attack didn't even reach my body. Come now, let's see what other little tricks you have left." But suddenly, crack, the barrier around him shattered. Muan's eyes widened. "What?" She hit the same weak point as before. "I never imagined anyone could push me this far." Snarling, he activated a forbidden technique. Dark energy surged through his veins, twisting his aura. Jiani's expression darkened. "This isn't good. That's a secret demonic art. Using it comes at a terrible price." In an instant, a red flash streaked through the air. Jiani was struck from behind. She gasped, turning, and saw that both Jian and Fanger were surrounded by a crimson aura, their eyes blank. "What's happening to you both?" Muan laughed triumphantly. "You think ending my technique would be easy? I've reclaimed control of them through my blood seal." He raised his hand. "Number 3. Number 4. Bring Jiani to me immediately." As 2 new puppets emerged, he continued with a sinister smile. "I'll admit, you're talented, but compared to me, an elder of the Demon Cloud sect, you're nothing more than a naive child. You'll make an excellent first sacrifice for my next ritual. Now, die, and fuel my heavenly blood refinement." Jiani, barely standing, whispered to herself, "Master, please forgive me. Even as the top disciple of King Tian's sword sect, I couldn't defeat a demon sect elder. Senior brother Hao Tian, I'm sorry. I was careless, despite your warning." She raised her sword weakly as Muan's spell began to glow. Suddenly, a calm voice interrupted. "You're right about one thing. This guy's too powerful for you." Everyone turned. Hao Tian stood at the edge of the battlefield. Muan's eyes narrowed. "So, you're the one interfering? Fine. I'll start with you." Hao Tian flicked his wrist, throwing a small talisman. Break. The entire formation shattered instantly. Jian and Fanger blinked, their eyes clearing as they returned to normal. Muan shouted, "What? Impossible. I personally reactivated the blood puppet seeds inside their bodies. I even sacrificed my own vital essence and blood for it. They should have been stronger than ever. Even if you had a divine treasure, destroying my formation in one move should be impossible." Then we see Fanger binding Muan tightly using his purple chains. At the same time, Jian suddenly appeared behind Muan and launched a devastating attack, slamming him deep into the ground. Seeing the display of Hao Tian's power, Jiani was utterly shocked. "Senior brother, what exactly is going on here? I don't understand anything." Jian also turned to him and asked, "Senior Hao Tian, what did you just do?" Hao Tian replied calmly, "I didn't do anything special, just used a small trick. When I was removing the blood puppet seed from your spiritual core, I noticed that its roots had already penetrated your true spirit. I was worried it might destroy your true spirit completely, so instead of removing it entirely, I only destroyed its outer layer. That meant a small amount of its energy still remained, making it easier for someone to manipulate. So, as a precaution, I left traces of my sword aura inside your spiritual core. When Muan reactivated the blood puppet seed, the sword aura instantly destroyed it from within. At that critical moment, having sword aura in your spiritual core turned out to be very useful." Jian smiled in awe. "Senior Hao Tian, you're truly amazing. It's impossible to predict your thoughts. Every time, you surprise us with something new." Jiani added, a bit frustrated, "Senior brother, why didn't you share this plan with me? What if it had failed? What would we have done then?" Hao Tian looked at her, slightly puzzled. Why is she still upset when everything's already solved? He said gently, "Jiani, just because you didn't deliver the final blow doesn't mean you didn't achieve anything. You played a key role in defeating the demon sex elder." Jiani blinked in surprise. "Senior brother, you really mean that?" Hao Tian nodded. "Of course. If you hadn't kept Muan busy, I wouldn't have been able to trap him so easily." Jian added, "He's right, Sister Jiani. Without you, this victory would have been impossible. Jiani smiled faintly. If everyone's saying it, then maybe it's true. She thought to herself, even though senior brother Hao Tian's cultivation level isn't that high, he's incredibly intelligent, a true strategist. He handled the entire situation flawlessly. Meanwhile, Hao Tian was thinking, if we finish this quickly, maybe I'll actually get a proper vacation this time. But suddenly, the formation around them reactivated. Jiani gasped, what's going on? Muwan was definitely dead, wasn't he? How could this happen? Could that bastard still be alive? Hao Tian frowned. Just my luck. I knew I wouldn't get an easy break. Then they saw it. Muwan was still alive, though heavily injured. He began absorbing the corpses of number 1 and number 2 into his body. Hao Tian's expression darkened. What is that lunatic trying to refine now? Jiani shouted. We can't just stand here. If he finishes refining whatever he's doing, we're done for. Let's attack and finish him off before it's too late. She charged, but Muwan blocked her strike with ease. You're too late to attack. My heavenly blood refining array has already been completed. Jiani gasped. That was my final move. I can't attack anymore. Our spiritual energy is almost drained. We need to retreat. The group turned to escape, but Hao Tian stepped forward. You all go. It's my turn to fight. Jiani shouted. Senior brother, what are you waiting for? If we don't leave now, he'll strike again. Muwan laughed darkly. Do you really think you can escape so easily? No matter what happens, you won't leave here alive. A massive figure made of spiritual energy emerged, grabbing all of them in its giant hands. You've caused me far too much trouble. Now, all of you will die. Jian struggled and cried out. If I had just a little more spiritual power left, I could kill him. Fanger gritted his teeth. There has to be some way to end this monster. Jiani thought desperately. Just moments ago, he was only at the 5th level of the Purple Chaos Realm, so how did he suddenly jump to the 8th level? Jian said grimly. We're nothing more than sacrifices for his ritual now. He's absorbed the blood puppets into his body. He's refining them to gain power. Muwan smirked. You're absolutely right. I absorbed number 1 and number 2. I never expected you'd actually manage to defeat them. Jian protested. That makes no sense. Even though number 1 was strong, his power wasn't much higher than ours. By absorbing them, your strength should only be equal to the 3 of us combined. So how are you this powerful? Muwan grinned wickedly. Because I offered myself as a sacrifice. This is the first step in the Demon Lord's plan to dominate the world. Soon, my transformation into the Scarlet Refining Demon Soldier will be complete. Everyone's faces went pale. The Scarlet Refining Demon Soldier? Meanwhile, Hao Tian glanced at his watch, calmly calculating something. Jiani asked, Senior brother Hao Tian, what are you looking at? Fanger spoke up. According to ancient records, the last time a demon soldier appeared was over 10,000 years ago. Back then, the demon sect had taken control of most of the world's territories. They used thousands of cultivators as sacrifices, but 5 powerful immortals from different regions joined forces and destroyed the Scarlet Refining Demon Soldier, ending the disaster. Muwan sneered. So, it seems you worms know a little more than I expected. If I absorb all this blood and refine these souls, I'll be able to grow demon veins within myself. Once that happens, I'll become a complete Scarlet Refined Demon Soldier. And for that, you'll all make perfect sacrifices. Suddenly, a loud, menacing sound echoed through the air. Muwan looked around, alarmed. What? What is that sound? Hao Tian smirked slightly. It means, it's finally my turn to act. Muwan scowled. Your turn to act? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Before he could react, a massive energy strike hit him head-on. The explosion was so intense that it sent shockwaves across the field. Muwan fell to the ground, gravely injured. Hao Tian said coldly, when I said it's time for me to act, I meant it's time for you to die. Jiani gasped. Senior brother Hao Tian. That strike, was that your sword technique? Did you create it yourself? Hao Tian replied calmly, you all should leave. I'll handle everything from here. Jiani protested. But senior brother Hao Tian, how is that even possible? You can't fight him alone. Hao Tian's tone sharpened. Go, now. Head to the village and activate the Soul Lock formation. If you don't, the entire village could be destroyed. Jiani asked anxiously. But brother Hao Tian, what about the elder who defeated number 2? Why don't we call for his help? He could deal with this easily. Jian shook her head grimly. This man has sacrificed himself. That's why his strength has already reached the 8th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Even if we combined all our power, fighting him would be impossible. Hao Tian said firmly. Don't worry, I'll finish this quickly and return. Meanwhile, Muwan, struggling to stand, growled. Damn you, because of that last strike, my spiritual core is completely depleted. Judging by that attack, you're truly at the spiritual realm. Tell me, what treasure did you just use, you bastard? Hao Tian smirked faintly. You really think I need a treasure to kill someone like you? As Jian and Jiani retreated, Jian whispered, Are we seriously leaving him like this? Do you really think Brother Hao Tian can fight Muan? His cultivation is only at the 6th level of the spiritual realm. He'll be killed with a single blow. Jiani replied with conviction. I know his cultivation is low, but I trust him completely. Ever since we arrived here, every decision he's made has been the right one. I know he'll find a way. She thought silently. No matter what, senior brother Hao Tian has never failed us. I believe in him. Muan glared at Hao Tian, uneasy. This guy, there's something different about him. Why do I have this bad feeling? Moments later, Jiani and the others reached the village and activated the soul-locking formation. A massive barrier enveloped the entire area, glowing faintly with runic symbols. Hao Tian nodded. Good. Now we can fight freely without worrying about the villagers. Muan laughed mockingly. You really think that changes anything? Do you honestly believe you have enough power to defeat me? Hao Tian replied calmly. Don't worry. I'll give you every chance you want. Use all the tricks you have. If you don't, you'll regret it. Muan roared in anger and unleashed his blood orb strike, a wave of crimson energy so destructive that it shattered nearby mountains. This is blood orb strike. There's no way you can dodge this. But when the dust cleared, Hao Tian was standing right in front of him, completely unharmed. The attack hadn't even touched him. Hao Tian said coldly, Is this a joke? That's all the power you've got? Muan growled, You arrogant fool. You're making me angry now. Fine, watch. I'll show you my true power. He raised his hands and summoned his deadliest technique, Demonic Heaven Destruction Light. The dark sky glowed with blinding red energy, visible for miles. Fanger, watching from a distance, gasped, That's the power of the demon soldier. It's far too dangerous. Jiani, trembling, cried, Senior brother Hao Tian, please, nothing must happen to you. But Hao Tian stood calmly. Muan, let me tell you something. No matter how powerful a technique is, if you haven't mastered it through practice, it's useless. If your attack can't even touch your opponent, then what's the point of such power? He dashed forward, and with lightning speed, slashed multiple times, dispersing Muan's heaven destruction light entirely. Muan froze in disbelief. This can't be real. I must be dreaming. Not only did you survive my attack, you neutralized it completely? Hao Tian replied calmly. You must be wondering how a low-level cultivator from the 6th stage was able to destroy your attack, right? The answer is simple. I'm not actually in the spiritual realm at all. Muan's eyes widened. What? Hao Tian continued. I sealed my true cultivation myself. It's the only way I can move freely without attracting divine attention. Muan screamed in fury and launched his demon cross slash, but Hao Tian blocked it effortlessly with a single motion. Hao Tian said casually, I've always been lazy when it comes to training, and honestly, I'm a little afraid. If I ever let loose my full power, I might just attract the wrath of the heavens themselves. After that, Muan unleashed multiple magic rings, but Hao Tian blocked every single one of them with ease. Hao Tian said calmly, as a true disciple of the sect, showing off too much power isn't a good thing. The stronger you become, the more complicated things get. All I want is to live a peaceful life in this world, and that's exactly why I've kept my true strength hidden, pretending to be weak. Seeing no way to win, Muan tried to flee. This guy's insane. Staying near him any longer would be pure stupidity. But Hao Tian called out, Wait a minute, did I say you could leave? You've not only disturbed my rest, but you also injured my companions, and forced me to fight before I wanted to. Do you think I'll just let you walk away that easily? Muan shouted while running, Stay away from me. You're a crazy man. Hao Tian smirked. Let you go? That's impossible. In a flash, Hao Tian activated his King Tian profound sword technique, and with a devastating strike, Muan was finally killed. The immense energy radiating from Hao Tian's weapon shook the ground. Jian, still stunned, said, Jiani, are you sure that brother Hao Tian is really only in the spiritual realm? That sword technique he used just now, its power felt almost at the level of a transcendent realm cultivator. Could it be that he's not just a true disciple, but actually one of the elders of the King Tian sword sect? Jiani thought to herself, it seems that brother Hao Tian's cultivation has already surpassed everyone else. No other disciple even comes close to his level. Compared to him, am I really worthy of being called a top disciple? Suddenly, the soul-locking formation started to weaken and collapse. Jiani shouted, The spiritual power from the battle is too strong. The soul-locking formation is destabilizing. She turned to Jian and Fanger, Please, take all the villagers and the others away from here. I'll try to maintain the formation as long as I can. Jiani thought to herself, No matter what, I have to protect the villagers, even if it costs me everything. At that moment, Hao Tian appeared beside her, and began channeling his energy into the formation. Thanks to his power, the formation stabilized again. Hao Tian said, It's fixed, you can safely deactivate it now. All the villagers bowed gratefully. Thank you so much, Sir Hao Tian. Jiani, still overwhelmed, asked Senior Brother Hao Tian. "Why didn't you tell me before that you were this powerful?" Hao Tian laughed softly. "What are you talking about, Jiani? I'm not powerful at all. My master gave me that sword talisman. It's the only reason I was able to defeat the demon sect elder. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for me to win." Hearing this, everyone, Jiani, Jian, and Fanger, was left completely shocked. Jiani asked, "So you mean that you didn't release that massive sword energy yourself?" Hao Tian shook his head. "Of course not. How could I? I'm only at the 6th level of the spiritual realm. Having that kind of power is impossible for someone like me. It was because you all held him off for so long that I was able to activate the talisman at all. If you hadn't kept him busy, I wouldn't have been able to trigger it. Besides, your attacks had already weakened Muon so much that he didn't have the strength left to counter the sword energy. I was just lucky to get such a perfect opportunity." Jiani frowned. "But you dodged every one of Muon's attacks so easily. How is that possible?" Hao Tian blinked, clearly caught off guard. "Oh, that's only because I've mastered escape martial arts and body movement techniques. I'm just very good at avoiding attacks. You already know about my master, right? Grandmaster Guyun, the #1 expert in the entire sect when it comes to escape techniques." Jiani wasn't fully convinced. "And what about the soul-locking formation? You touched it once and instantly repaired it. That's not something a spiritual realm cultivator should be capable of." Hao Tian chuckled and pulled out a small glowing gem. "That's because I used this, the hidden spirit jade." The three of them stared in disbelief. The hidden spirit jade? That's an extremely rare spiritual stone infused with immense energy. No wonder, but those are unbelievably expensive. Hardly any cultivator can afford one. Jiani thought silently. His explanations make sense, but something still feels off. "I can't explain it, but there's something he's hiding." Seeing her concerned expression, Hao Tian thought, "Looks like Jiani doesn't completely believe me." He placed his hand gently on her head and smiled. "Jiani, don't overthink it. If I were truly that powerful, both the sect master and my own master would have noticed long ago. You don't have to worry about me. You're the top disciple of the King Tian Sword sect now, so hold that title proudly." Jiani blushed slightly and said shyly, "Senior Brother Hao Tian, you're teasing me again. That's not fair." Jian then asked, "Senior Brother Hao Tian, where's the crimson demonic weapon?" Hao Tian replied seriously, "The crimson demonic weapon is still filled with strong demonic energy. For now, we shouldn't touch it. Don't worry, I've activated a suppression formation to contain it." Soon, they arrived near the weapon. Hao Tian said, "The Demon Cloud sect has grown bolder. They've started cultivating the crimson demonic weapon again. We need to inform every nearby sect about this, so they can prepare for whatever the demon sect is planning. Let's take this weapon back to the King Tian Sword sect for safekeeping." But suddenly, dangerous energy surged from the crimson demonic weapon, shattering the suppression formation completely. Jiani shouted, "Senior Brother, something's wrong. Someone's trying to forcefully release the demonic energy." In response, Hao Tian attacked the weapon, releasing powerful strikes. But the next moment, the crimson demonic weapon vanished. Jian gasped. "It seems an expert from the demon sect appeared and took it." Fanger added, "That actually makes sense. One of their elders sacrificed half his life to create that weapon. It's impossible that they wouldn't have a backup plan to retrieve it." Jiani sighed. "Our spiritual power was almost depleted. That's why we couldn't stop that demon sect cultivator from taking it." Meanwhile, Hao Tian thought to himself, "I purposely suppressed my energy so no one could sense me. That demon sect guy used that moment to steal the weapon. But it doesn't matter. I planted a tracking mark inside it. No one will be able to keep it for long." Scene shifts to Demon Cloud sect headquarters. The patriarch of the Demon Cloud sect slammed his hand on the table. "The next time I meet that King Tian Sword disciple, Hao Tian, I'll tear his body into 10,000 pieces." Just then, a figure entered. The patriarch said, "Lord, you're here." Lord replied, "Looks like you've successfully reformed your physical body." Patriarch says, "If you hadn't helped me, regaining it would have been impossible." The Lord continued coldly, "Patriarch, listen carefully. Muon is dead." The patriarch was shocked. "What? Muon is dead?" The Lord said, "Before dying, Muon tried to bring the heavenly blood refining demon weapon under his control, but some external force stopped him." The patriarch frowned deeply. "No one in this world is stronger than the Lord himself, so who could possibly block his power?" The Lord said grimly, "The crimson demonic weapon has been taken to Mount Using. My control over it was severed. You're to go there immediately and retrieve it. I'll lend you 3 magic treasures for this mission. Last time, you lost the blood spiritual pill. If you fail again, you know what will happen to you." The patriarch bowed. "Understood, my lord. I will not fail this time." Later, Fanger and Jian were seen traveling together. Fanger said, "If fate allows, we'll meet again someday." Jiani replied, "Please, both of you, be careful on your journey. As they left, Fanger said to Jian, the demon sect is planning something big. I never thought they'd actually try to recreate a demon soldier. If that happens, it'll be a disaster beyond imagination. But honestly, what worries me most is senior brother Hao Tian. Jian asked, what do you mean? What's wrong with him? Fanger sighed. Haven't you noticed? Everything that happened, from the moment we left the inn, was under his control. Every instruction he gave us, every move during the battle, even that antidote pill he gave us, the one that nullified poison, nothing was random. When I used my vision technique after taking that pill, I discovered that the pill contained sword energy, not medicine. That energy continuously purified the toxins in our bodies. So, it wasn't an antidote pill at all, it was a sword energy infused pill. That's why no poison affected us. Jian looked stunned. But how's that possible? Fanger replied, if someone's mastery over sword techniques is at a divine level, they can do something like that. Jian asked quietly, but if senior brother Hao Tian is so powerful, why does he keep hiding his true strength? Fanger said, maybe, the King Tian sword sect is hiding an extraordinary disciple, a hidden genius, meant to shock the entire cultivation world when the time is right. Jian nodded slowly. Then should we tell the sect leader about all this? Fanger shook his head. No. If senior brother Hao Tian himself doesn't wish to reveal his power, we shouldn't either. After all, he saved our lives. Betraying his trust would be wrong. Besides, King Tian Sword Sect already has a true prodigy. At the upcoming Heavenly Summit, the King Tian Sword Sect will astonish everyone. Jiani said, senior brother, the sect leader has ordered that we return to the sect immediately. Hao Tian nodded and said, both of them are really smart. Jiani tilted her head in confusion. Senior brother Hao Tian, who's smart? Hao Tian quickly replied, no, nothing. I was just saying that casually. At the same time, Hao Tian was thinking to himself, I need to erase the sword energy traces from my body. If any of the elders discover it later, I'll be in serious trouble. Just then, Jiani asked him seriously, senior brother Hao Tian, please tell me honestly, do you really have no hidden strength? Hao Tian smiled calmly. Jiani, why would I lie to you? I'm just a cultivator at the 6th level of the spiritual realm. Compared to a genius like you, I'm nothing special. But suddenly, Jiani attacked him with a powerful strike. The force of her strike tore Hao Tian's clothes, and from within, a small book fell out. Jiani quickly picked it up. Let's see what this is. On the cover, it said, some dangerous encounters between my junior sister and me during our cultivation journey. After reading the title, Jiani's face turned bright red. Hao Tian hurriedly snatched the book back and stammered, wait, junior sister, you've misunderstood. This isn't what you think, it's just a novel. A famous one from the mortal world. But in Jiani's mind, Hao Tian's image was completely shattered. She said angrily, senior brother Hao Tian, I never thought you'd think that way about me. Hao Tian panicked. No, you're misunderstanding. Despite the title, there's nothing inappropriate inside. It's actually a very good story. Wait, let me show you. He opened the book to a random page to prove it, but the illustration inside looked quite questionable. Hao Tian's face turned pale. No, it's not what it looks like. Jiani, fuming, said, senior brother, you're such a pervert. How could you show me something like that? Hao Tian frantically explained, you've got it all wrong. Those pictures are just to keep the readers from getting bored. It's actually a famous adventure story about a disciple who experiences incredible journeys between mortals and cultivators. It's very popular. Every 3 months, a new volume is released. And this is a limited edition copy. I even stood in line all night to buy it. Jiani's anger softened a little. So, that's how it is. I'm sorry, senior brother. Because of me, your clothes got torn. She thought to herself, he didn't dodge my attack earlier. Maybe he really doesn't have any hidden strength after all. Then she said, senior brother, you shouldn't read such novels during the week. It's forbidden in our sect, remember? The sect leader says they weaken one's spiritual focus. You're a talented cultivator. You should concentrate more on your training. Hao Tian chuckled lightly. Alright, Jiani, don't worry. I'll keep that in mind. She said, good. Then let's head back before it gets too late. As they walked, Hao Tian thought to himself, she tested me just now. If I had blocked her strike too easily, she'd have become suspicious. But then, Jiani suddenly sent another attack, aimed straight at the book. Hao Tian quickly shielded the book and deflected the strike aside. He frowned. Jiani, can you act like nothing just happened, like you didn't see a thing? Jiani replied firmly, senior brother, that attack of mine could break the defense of even a cultivator at the 5th level of the Purple Chaos Realm, but you blocked it effortlessly. How do you explain that? Hao Tian sighed internally. She's sharp. She played that well. He smiled faintly and said, alright, fine. I admit I've been hiding my true cultivation. Jiani leaned forward slightly. Then tell me the truth. Are you stronger than me or not? Hao Tian scratched his neck and said modestly, well, maybe a little stronger than you. Jiani smiled mischievously. In that case, I want a favor. Hao Tian asked cautiously. A favor? What kind? She grinned. Please teach me your sword technique. It's incredible. I really want to learn it. Hao Tian sighed internally. I thought I'd finally get a 3-day break after this mission, but it seems my workload is only going to increase. Still, he nodded. Alright, I can teach you the basics of the sword movement technique. Jiani smiled brightly. Don't worry, senior brother. I'll take care of everything else. Let's go now, or we'll be late. As they walked toward the sect hall, Hao Tian muttered to himself, Sect leader, look what you've done. Now I'm stuck in extra work because of you. When they entered the sect hall, Jiani greeted respectfully, Sect leader, hall masters, esteemed elders, I humbly greet you all. Everyone smiled warmly. It's good to see you return safely, Jiani. You must have made great contributions to the sect. Were you injured at all? Hao Tian bowed and said, Sect leader, hall master, elders, greetings. But as soon as the elders heard his voice, they scowled in disapproval. Because of you, Jiani must have suffered greatly. If she got injured trying to protect you, we won't forgive you easily. Did you at least learn from this mission what a true disciple is? Hao Tian thought to himself, these old men are hopeless. If I hadn't been there, your top disciple would have been refined by the demon sect already. The sect leader raised his hand. Enough. Stop blaming him. If Hao Tian hadn't activated the talisman, it would have been impossible to defeat the demon sect elder. Hao Tian thought dryly, finally, someone reasonable. Guess that bribe of tea leaves paid off. One of the elders said, but the talisman was given to him by Hall Master Guyun. All he did was activate it. That's not much of an achievement. The true credit belongs to Hall Master Guyun. Hall Master Guyu smiled faintly. Hao Tian is my disciple. I gave him the sword talisman so he could protect himself. That's all there is to it. The elders murmured among themselves. Still, Hall Master Guyun, your swordsmanship is impressive. Defeating a demon sect elder with a single move is truly remarkable. Hall Master Guyun was deep in thought. As far as I remember, the sword talisman I gave to Hao Tian was only meant for someone at the first level of the Purple Chaos Realm. But according to the rumors, Muan was at least at the 5th level of the same realm. Could it be? I accidentally gave Hao Tian the wrong talisman? Before he could ponder further, the sect leader spoke seriously. Listen carefully, everyone. I called you here for an important reason. The demon sect now possesses both the Blood Pearl and the Crimson Demonic Weapon. If they continue advancing at this rate, this entire world will soon fall into chaos. Turning to Jiani, the sect leader said, tell us everything in detail. What exactly happened when you encountered Muan? This information will be crucial for our sect and the Alliance. A short while later, Hao Tian was seen walking out of the hall, stretching his arms. Finally, it's over. Starting tomorrow, I'll have 3 full days of rest. Now, what should I do during that time? Just then, Jiani appeared beside him. Senior brother, you promised to teach me your sword technique, remember? Hao Tian froze. I have some important matters to take care of right now. I'll teach you later. But Jiani refused to back down. I can't wait, senior brother. Getting guidance from an expert like you is too valuable. Hao Tian groaned in frustration. Jiani, we've just returned from a long mission. We're both exhausted. Let me rest for a bit and restore my energy. After that, I'll definitely teach you. Jiani crossed her arms and said, when I was fighting, you slept the entire night. I didn't complain even once about being tired. So why are you complaining now? Hao Tian frowned. Stop talking nonsense. If anything, I did most of the work during that mission. At that moment, Jiani's eyes lit up mischievously. She had come up with a plan. She suddenly grabbed Hao Tian by the collar and said with a sly smile, Senior brother Hao Tian, if you don't teach me, I'll tell everyone the real nature of our relationship. Hao Tian turned pale. What are you talking about? This is the main hall entrance, and besides, what relationship are you even referring to? Jiani smirked. I don't care. You're a liar. You say one thing and do another. Hao Tian says, make sure no one sees you coming to me at night. If someone catches you coming here, the elders will never spare me. Jiani replies, Senior Hao Tian, don't worry, I'll be very careful. Later that night, we see Jiani quietly arriving at Hao Tian's place. Hao Tian smiles, so you finally came, Jiani. Jiani asks, Senior, why do you look so serious? Meanwhile, she wonders, is it really possible? Is senior brother Hao Tian really this focused just to teach me swordsmanship? Hao Tian says, Jiani, something terrible has happened. Jiani looks worried. Senior, what happened? Why do you look so troubled? Hao Tian explains, the next volume of Cultivation with Junior is releasing tomorrow. Because of the demon sect, the publisher changed locations. They're now near Young City, over 1,000 miles away. If I want the limited edition, I'll have to stand in line all night. Jianni thinks, when we were going through life and death struggles, senior brother Hao Tian didn't panic at all, but for a novel, he's more stressed than ever. Hao Tian continues, I have to leave for Young City tomorrow, so I can only teach you swordsmanship tonight. Watch carefully and try your best to learn. Jianni nods, alright, senior brother, tell me what to do. Hao Tian says, Jianni, attack me with all the strength you have. Jianni panics, Senior Hao Tian, if I use my full strength, your whole house might collapse. Hao Tian replies, just try. As long as I'm here, you won't be able to destroy anything of mine. Jianni sighs, fine, but be careful. I can't guarantee what will happen once I attack. She strikes with full force. Hao Tian blocks it with a single hand. Jianni falls to her knees. Senior brother, I admit defeat. Hao Tian says gently, Jianni, nothing in this world is perfect. That includes your sword techniques. I saw a flaw in your sword intent, and destroyed it instantly with my own. Fix that flaw. Keep cultivating until your sword intent reaches its peak. If your sword intent reaches perfection, even holding a blade of grass, or a small wooden stick, you could cut through mountains. Jianni thinks, I've been in the King Tian sword sect for 20 years. I practice sword techniques daily, and I even reached top disciple level. But cutting mountains with a blade of grass, is that even imaginable? Hao Tian stomps the ground, lifting a stone tablet from below. He infuses it with sword intent. Study these sword marks carefully. If you continuously cultivate, you will eventually reach a very high level in swordsmanship. Jianni sees the character sword, carved into the tablet. Hao Tian warns, keep this tablet hidden. No one else is allowed to see it. Jianni nods, yes, senior brother. Thank you for guiding me. I'll go and start studying immediately. Hao Tian smiles to himself, looks like Jianni will train the whole night. She's incredibly dedicated. I just hope she doesn't ruin her health from overtraining. The next day, Hao Tian says, time to head to Young City. As he walks away, he sees his sect master leaving the sword sect grounds. Hao Tian thinks, looks like master has something important to do as well. Suddenly, the master stops. He says, you've been following me for quite a while, Demon Sect Lord. The Demon Sect Lord replies, I was just curious to see how fast the Great Hall Master Gu is. You're famous for dodging large-scale attacks easily, but it seems, today is your end. You won't escape this time. Master Gu thinks, this is the Demon Sect leader, Jiang Ba. He says aloud, Jiang Ba, how did you know I'd be here? Jiang Ba smirks, let's just say, someone informed me in advance. Master Gu clenches his fists, seems the demon sect has spies, even inside the King Tian sword sect. He adds, you people never stop plotting. Jiang Ba replies, our plan has always been the same. Demon sects will never changes. And I know, the moment you sensed me, you began setting up your secret sword formation. By now, I'm sure your entire formation is ready. So go ahead, activate it. Master Gu smiles, you seem very confident. Be careful, overconfidence can kill you. Saying that, he activates countless sword arrays. Jiang Ba says, if the day comes when your sword arrays can stop my palm, then I'll admit defeat. But that day will not be today. He raises his hand. Let's see whether your countless sword arrays can withstand even one of my palms. Scene shifts to Young City. Hao Tian arrives and says, finally, I'm here. Now, where is that publisher? Suddenly he feels something. What? My master's hidden jade pendant has been activated. He thinks, Master Gu is at the first level of Transcendence Realm. His escape techniques are unmatched. Putting him in danger is nearly impossible. But then we see Master Gu. He was badly injured. Jiang Ba laughs. To save your life, you used your hidden jade pendant. All the sword keys stored inside it blocked my attack just now. Master Gu thinks, Hao Tian gave me this hidden jade pendant. He said it was a gift from him. He asked me to always keep it with me. Demon Jiang says, don't worry. I made a big mistake earlier, but I won't repeat it. Now that the jade pendant is gone, nothing will save you. Meanwhile, Hao Tian says, if I release enough energy here, maybe it will reach Master. He releases a terrifying surge of energy toward the jade pendant's direction. Even Demon Jiang senses it. Hao Tian shouts, King Tian sword technique, strike. His attack hits hard. Demon Jiang was severely injured. Demon Jiang mutters, the King Tian sword technique, no one except the sect leader, Wen Jian, should be able to use this technique. In the chaos, Master Gu escapes. Demon Jiang growls, that damn old Gu ran away, but next time, I won't spare him. A bit later, Hao Tian arrives at the scene. I'm sure he was hit by my attack. So where the hell did he disappear? If he survived my strike, then he must be above the 4th level of Transcendence. But why would someone that powerful come just to kill my master? Anyway, it's good Master escaped safely. Once I return to the sect, I'll check on him. Looking around, he notices a huge crowd. A shopkeeper announces, the 11th season of cultivation with the junior is here. Form an orderly line. Hao Tian thinks, looks like I'll be standing here forever. Later, the shopkeeper holds the final copy. This is the last book. People complain, our luck is terrible. The line ended before our turn. Hao Tian smiles, looks like I'm lucky after all. Just as he's about to take the book, a woman appears. Both stare at each other in shock. The woman says sweetly, handsome big brother, can you please give me that book? Hao Tian snaps, get lost, this book is mine. The woman says, I'll pay double. Hao Tian refuses, no way. Both start arguing with the shopkeeper hearing, please calm down. Only one book remains. You two cultivators can settle it peacefully. The woman says, I know a fair method to decide who gets it. Hao Tian asks, what method? She smiles, rock, paper, scissors. Hao Tian sighs, we can check moves with divine sense. What's the point of this game? She explains, this tool was made by the Divine Machinery sect. Divine sense doesn't work on it, so it's completely fair. Hao Tian tests it. Indeed, he senses nothing. Fine, no harm in trying. She says, we play 3 rounds. Whoever wins 2 gets the book. Round 1, they play. Hao Tian loses. The woman grins. Wow, I won the first round. Looks like I will take the book home. Hao Tian thinks, I lost. My luck must be cursed today. Round 2, they play again. Hao Tian loses again. He was stunned, devastated. He thinks, I checked carefully, there were no loopholes in the device. And even after all that effort, I still couldn't get the limited edition. Shopkeepers whisper, should we inform the sect? Someone will need to take him home. Hao Tian sighs, well, today just wasn't my day. He leaves the shop and roams around. Let me check out this place. At least the tea leaves I stored in the cave should be ready. I'll bring a special blend for the sect leader this time. Night falls. Hao Tian says, I should head home now. Suddenly he hears shouting nearby. This girl must be cheating. The woman from earlier is surrounded by men. She says, it's just my good luck. Stop talking nonsense. The men shout, no one can win 20 times in a row without cheating. We've lost way too many times. We refuse to believe it's not cheating. The woman protests, I'm a good person, that's why the heavens help me. Maybe in your past life you all were demons, that's why heaven doesn't help you. The men growl, stop talking rubbish. As if the heavens care about rock, paper, scissors. The woman shrugs, rules were simple. I'm not giving anything back. The men attack her. She panics. These guys are Purple Key Realm, 3rd level. She screams, big brother, help me. The men turn. Hao Tian was standing behind them. They ask, who the hell are you? The woman dramatically says, big brother, these men are disgusting. Their intentions are very wrong. The men shout, shut up. Our intentions are not wrong. And you, are you a cultivation partner or something? If you interfere, we won't let you go either. Hao Tian says calmly, shut up. I have nothing to do with this woman. I'm not getting involved. You all can continue whatever you are doing. The woman cries, big brother, how can you be so heartless? Did you forget where we first met? Hao Tian snaps, stop the nonsense. When we first met, I lost to you in rock, paper, scissors, and you stole my book. The men laugh, so she scammed you too. Looks like scamming people with this game is her full-time job. Hao Tian says, alright you two. Go ahead and continue what you were doing. Teach this girl a proper lesson. And also, give me my book back when you're done. The woman shouts, shut up. If you don't help me, I'll tear your book apart. The 2 men yell, stop screaming. Do whatever you want. We're still going to attack. They launch a deadly attack. But Hao Tian steps forward and destroys their attack instantly. The men were shocked. He neutralized our attack in 1 strike. Who is this guy? Another man says, you said you wouldn't interfere. So why did you step in now? Hao Tian replies, sorry, I changed my mind. Now listen carefully, you two will do exactly what I say. The woman scoffs, stop talking nonsense. You idiot, you fell right into my trap. She suddenly vanishes. Hao Tian glares, you dare trick me? Don't worry, finding you won't be hard. He disappears at high speed. The 2 men tremble. Which sect is he from? That aura was terrifying. They look at each other. We should follow him. That woman still has our treasures. Meanwhile, the woman runs toward Young Mountain. She pants. Good thing I trained my movement technique, otherwise escaping would have been impossible. Suddenly, Hao Tian appears in front of her. How dare you try tricks on me? He sends his energy directly into her body. The woman gasps. What did you do? My spiritual power, it's gone. As she is about to collapse, Hao Tian catches her. Hao Tian says, you're a shameless woman. Now tell me, which sect do you belong to? She snaps, shut up and let me go. Hao Tian grabs her arm, come on. We're going to meet the Lord of Young City. You've scammed countless people. According to the city laws, you'll have to clean pigs for 7 days. Hearing this, the woman panics. Then the 2 men arrive. Hao Tian says, if you don't want things to get worse for you, hand me the book quietly. The woman yells, you just threatened a beautiful female cultivator. I swear you'll be single forever. Fine, take your stupid book. Just restore my spiritual power. Hao Tian restores her spiritual energy, then hands her a spiritual stone. Here, take this stone and pretend I bought the book from you. But tell me one thing, how did you cheat in rock paper scissors? The woman replies, I didn't cheat, I simply used an illusion technique. The two men shout, using illusion is cheating. Hao Tian asks, what illusion technique? The woman flips the jade piece in her hand, and the symbol changes instantly. The men gasp, amazing. She used illusion and left no trace of spiritual energy. No wonder we lost, her illusion is too powerful. Hao Tian asks, but what about the second round? I flipped the jade piece myself. How did you change it then? The woman smiles, I cast an illusion on you. If you thought you lost, that was enough. All three men shout, that's cognitive modification, a profound illusion technique. Hao Tian asks, who are you really? The woman says, I am from the illusory celestial palace, my name is Yu Kang. The two men tense up. One whispers, senior brother, isn't the illusory celestial palace extremely powerful? The other explains, yes, they are an ancient sect specializing in illusion techniques. They keep to themselves and don't join alliances, but their strength is terrifying. He bows to her, my name is Mu Yan. I am a core disciple of the Yunjin sect. This is my junior brother, Byron. We didn't know you were from the illusory celestial palace. Please forgive us. We don't want our treasures back, but we do have an offer, a chance to acquire a new treasure. In Young Mountain, a mysterious treasure appeared a few days ago. A red beam of light fell from the sky. It must be something extraordinary. Yu Kang gets excited. A secret treasure? Sounds interesting. Mu Yan says, Young Mountain is huge. We only know the general location. If you join us, your illusion techniques will make the journey much safer. Whoever reaches the treasure first owns it. Hao Tian thinks, a red beam in Young Mountain. Could it be the crimson demonic weapon? No, probably just a coincidence. I'm not interested. Yu Kang nods. Alright, I'll join you. Mu Yan looks at Hao Tian. Brother Hao Tian, what about you? With your strength, you'd be a great help. Hao Tian waves his hand. Forget it. I'm not interested in treasure hunts. He thinks, after so long, I finally got 3 days of vacation. No way I'm wasting it running around mountains. I'll stay in the city, rest, and read my book. He says, I'm leaving. And with great speed, Hao Tian disappears. Yu Kang says, that guy is strange, but I'm sure he'll come looking for us. Scene shifts to Young Mountain. We see the patriarch of the Demon Cloud sect, arriving. He says, finally, I've obtained the crimson demonic weapon. Meanwhile, on another part of Young Mountain, a lion-type beast attacks Yu Kang, but it turns out to be her illusion. Byron steps in and kills the beast using the 9 shadow technique. Byron says, Miss Yu, your technique is incredible. Mu Yan adds, even a purple key stage level 3 beast died instantly. Yu Kang replies, it's just my natural talent, nothing surprising. They continue walking toward the treasure. Yu Kang asks, we've been searching Young Mountain for half an hour. Are you sure the treasure is here? Mu Yan answers, don't worry, just 10 more feet and we'll reach it. The treasure should be glowing with red light. Meanwhile, the crimson demonic weapon was absorbing demonic energy, the patriarch says. At this rate, the demonic core of the crimson weapon will be ready soon. The Lord will be pleased with my work. Then he senses a fluctuation of spiritual energy. Someone is approaching, 2 young sect disciples and a female cultivator. If they find out, they'll inform Young City. Only one of them is strong, Purple Key Realm, level 3. But since they are young sect disciples, they probably carry protective items. Summoning flesh puppets here won't help, but good thing I came prepared. He rings a bell, a dark spirit appears. The patriarch orders, I'll stay here and protect the crimson weapon. Bring those disciples to me. The dark spirit rushes away. The patriarch laughs. They came to me themselves. Their sacrifice will strengthen me greatly. Scene shifts to Young City Hotel. Hao Tian was calmly drinking tea and reading his book. I didn't even notice. I'm about to finish this book. The mastermind behind everything is finally about to be revealed. One more page. He flips the last page and reads, you want to know the mastermind? Go find it yourself. I'm not telling you. Hao Tian explodes. Yu Kang, I won't spare you. People in the hotel panic. Is that an earthquake? Hadian speeds out of the hotel toward Young Mountain. This is definitely Yu Kang's doing. Even if I have to destroy the entire mountain, I'll find her today. On Young Mountain, Yu Kang says nervously, why is the forest getting darker and deeper? Why haven't we reached the treasure yet? She thinks, why do I feel like someone is watching us? Byron whispers, something's wrong. Someone is approaching. Suddenly, Byron is struck by a deadly attack and collapses unconscious. Yu Kang shouts, Mu Yan, be careful. An attack is coming. But Mu Yan was also struck down immediately. Yu Kang trembles. Who is here? Who attacked us? Show yourself. A dark spirit appears, preparing to attack her next. Hao Tian stands at the entrance of Young Mountain. Just moments ago I could sense their aura, but now, they've vanished completely. No signs of battle, which means they were killed instantly. He thinks, someone is hiding in the wind, time to check. Suddenly, the dark spirit attacks Hao Tian. Hao Tian says, "Who are you? And why are you attacking me?" Inside the dark mist, he sees a small demon girl. She shivers in fear when she sees him and begins crying. Hao Tian asks, "What's wrong? Can't you speak? Where are the 3 cultivators? Did you attack them? Are they dead or unconscious?" He sighs, "Fine. If you show me where they are, I won't punish you." Suddenly, a bell rings. The demon girl clutches her head in pain and runs away. Hao Tian says, "Master once told me about this, the soul-controlling bell. A forbidden magic tool that seals a creature's soul and releases cursed energy when rung. So that means, someone from the Demon Cloud sect is on Young Mountain." Meanwhile, the Demon Patriarch begins capturing the souls of the 3 unconscious cultivators. Ringing the bell, he scolds, "The 4th cultivator arrived long ago, yet you still haven't brought him to me. You divine beast, you're completely useless." He stomps on the small demon beast. The little creature cries in pain. Patriarch says, "Looks like you're searching for an opportunity to escape, but if you even try to run, I have 1,000 ways to torture you. Now hurry up and tell me, where's that cultivator? I'll capture him myself." Just then, Hao Tian speaks, "No need. I'm already here. Patriarch Ji-yun of the Demon Cloud sect, so it is you. It's only been a few days since your body was destroyed, and you've already recreated a new one. Clearly, someone powerful helped you." Seeing Hao Tian, Patriarch's memories flood back. Patriarch snarls, "You dare appear before me? I won't let you leave alive." He launches a deadly attack, but Hao Tian blocks it effortlessly. Hao Tian says, "Even after all this time, you're still this weak." Patriarch immediately rings the demonic bell and commands, "Iwan, attack." Iwan trembles, crying, forced forward. But Hao Tian strikes first, killing Patriarch instantly, and destroying the soul-controlling bell. Hao Tian says gently, "It's over. From now on, no one will ever control you again. You're free, Iwan." Hearing this, the little demon girl bursts into tears. Patriarch's fading voice snarls, "Iwan, don't trust him. Even without the bell, you can't defy me." But Iwan suddenly attacks Patriarch again, then runs to Hao Tian's side, sobbing. Hao Tian comforts her, "Don't worry. You're free now. Go home, I'll handle the rest." He thinks, "I know exactly how she feels. Being forced to work endlessly, no matter how exhausted you are, never rewarded, only scolded and abused. It's horrible, and I won't let anyone suffer that in front of me." Patriarch summons the Blood Spirit Pearl. Patriarch shouts, "Blood Spirit Pearl, I summon you." A terrifying demon emerges. The demon roars, "Who summoned the Demon King?" Patriarch bows, "Lord Demon King, please kill this man for me." The Demon King scoffs, "You called me just to kill this trash? He probably can't even withstand one punch." He throws a powerful punch, but Hao Tian counters with a devastating strike of his own. The Demon King's eyes widen, "Human, your strength is impressive. Unfortunately, this Demon King is still sealed. What you fought just now was only 1/5 of my power. But remember this, one day I'll come here myself. And when I do, we'll have a true battle. Remember my name, I am Demon King." Before he can finish, his projection explodes. Hao Tian turns to Patriarch, "This time, you're not escaping. You will die today." Patriarch panics, "Wait, hold on. I already used up my spirit bead. If you attack, I'll definitely die." Hao Tian ignores him and strikes, causing a massive explosion. Looking at the 3 unconscious cultivators, he says, "Their luck was terrible, running into someone like Patriarch. He frees them." Hao Tian explains, "Don't worry, everything is fine. Your spiritual energy was drained, but with some rest you'll recover. Let me take you back to Young City." Suddenly, someone emerges from behind. Patriarch rises again, holding the crimson demonic weapon. Patriarch laughs, "Hao Tian, you almost killed me. You forced me to use my final treasure. Now that I have this, you're the one who will die." Hao Tian replies, "If you're not dead after one strike, I'll just hit you again." He attacks, but Patriarch blocks it easily with the crimson demonic weapon. Patria then redirects a deadly strike toward the 3 cultivators, but Hao Tian moves them aside, and blocks the attack himself. Hao Tian frowns, "Strange, this treasure. Just moments ago you were at Purple Key Realm, level 7. Now you've jumped to Transcendent Realm, level 2. How is that possible?" Hao Tian's expression darkens. "Could this be the ancient treasure, heaven-passing jade?" Patriarch smirks, "Impressive. A high-ranking disciple like you would know such things." Hao Tian explains, ancient texts say, 10 million years ago, someone activated the heaven-passing jade. Their cultivation skyrocketed, but within 5 years, they died of exhaustion. The Supreme Inferno soared immortal, and many great cultivators after him all died the same way. Anyone who uses heaven-passing jade cannot survive. So how did it end up in your hands? Hao Tian throws him a mirror. Look at yourself. Whether you gain power the normal way, or forcefully steal it, the difference is clear. This is no illusion. This is reality. Patriarch looks into the mirror and sees himself, an old, withered man. Patriarch screams, impossible. I had at least 800 years of lifespan left. He smashes the mirror. This is nonsense. I won't believe it. Hao Tian says, what you think is a legendary treasure is actually a demonic parasite, draining your life. Patriarch snaps, stop talking. If I take this crimson demonic weapon back, the Lord will restore my life with a pill. With heaven-passing jade, I can one day control the world. Hao Tian sighs, another one blinded by power. Patriarch cuts his thumb, and drips blood onto the heaven-passing jade. His power increases dramatically. Patriarch roars, you'll die here today. He launches an overwhelming attack. Hao Tian attacks as well, but this time, Patriarch's strike lands directly on Hao Tian. Hao Tian says, Patriarch's power has already reached the 5th level of the transcendent realm. He clenches his fists. I have no other choice, looks like I'll have to do it. Suddenly, we see a powerful attack strike Patriarch. Patriarch shouts, Iwan. So this was your doing. He launches a deadly attack at Iwan, but Hao Tian appears and blocks it. Hao Tian says, Iwan, didn't I tell you to run? Patriarch prepares another attack. Hao Tian thinks, I'm out of time. I must do it now. Patriarch yells, Hao Tian, don't move. You're definitely dying today. But just as the attack lands, Hao Tian vanishes from in front of him. Patriarch snarls, you wretch. So you're the one behind this. He turns and strikes viciously toward Yu Kang, but Hao Tian appears right in front of her, blocking the attack with 2 fingers. The seal on Hao Tian's body begins to break. Patriarch's eyes widen. You didn't run. You came back just to die. Hao Tian calmly blocks the attack. Patriarch stumbles back. How is this possible? I'm at the 5th level of the transcendent realm. How did you block me? Yu Kang thinks, Hao Tian's power, it's unbelievable. Hao Tian says, this much strength is more than enough to end you. Patriarch roars and activates the crimson demonic weapon. You dare act arrogant before me? Hao Tian replies, the moment I removed my seal, your defeat was decided. He activates the King Tian divine dragon technique. A massive dragon made of pure energy appears, and charges at Patriarch. Patriarch was horrified. The dragon slams into him, erasing his entire body. After Patriarch's death, Hao Tian reseals his own power. Yu Kang thinks, he's back to the 6th level of the spiritual realm, even sealed. He looks incredible. Hao Tian warns, listen carefully, don't touch that gem. He stores the heaven-passing jade in his spatial pouch. Yu Kang asks nervously, did that gem just try controlling me? Hao Tian answers, it's extremely dangerous. If you're not careful, your entire lifespan will vanish instantly. Just look at what happened to Patriarch. His lifespan was completely drained. The divine beast Iwan appears. Yu Kang says, wait, aren't you the beast who attacked us earlier? Hearing this, Iwan begins crying. Hao Tian explains, calm down. She's the divine beast Iwan. She means no harm. When she attacked you, she was being controlled by the soul controlling bell. Yu Kang asks, then where's the soul controlling bell now? Hao Tian replies, I already destroyed it. He kneels to Yuan. You're free now. Go home, and be careful. Don't let evil people capture you again. Yu Kang feels sympathy for the little divine beast. She says, this divine beast is very powerful. You could keep her with you. Hao Tian replies firmly, if I did that, how would I be any different from the demon sect? Yu Kang was stunned. Anyone else would have kept the bell, and used her as a weapon. I completely misunderstood you. Hao Tian smiles. If you made a mistake, then fix it by returning the torn page. Yu Kang thinks, this guy, he's definitely going to die single. He doesn't care about girls at all, only books. Yu Kang handed the torn page back to Hao Tian. Hao Tian realized, this is the exact same page she ripped. Hao Tian said, honestly, if you hadn't torn that page, I probably wouldn't have come here. But let me make one thing clear, whatever happened today, don't tell anyone. Yu Kang replied, you killed the elder of the demon sect, and you expect no one to talk about it? Hao Tian answered, stop asking so many questions. You gave me that book, and I've repaid you. Yu Kang asked, so, how are you planning to deal with the crimson demonic weapon? Hao Tian said, I'll take the crimson demonic weapon back to my sect. As for you, take care of the 2 disciples of the young sect. I'm leaving with the weapon. Yu Kang snapped, stop talking nonsense. How can you leave us here? Do I look like a babysitter to you? But just as Hao Tian was about to pick up the crimson demonic weapon, a massive spiritual hand appeared. A powerful voice said, "You cannot touch this demon artifact." Hao Tian thought, "Another cultivator from the transcendent realm," the man said. "Hao Tian of the King Tian Sword Sect, I'll remember you." Then he grabbed the crimson demonic weapon and vanished. Yu Kang trembled. That man, he was insanely powerful. My body is still shaking from his aura. Hao Tian replied, "He must be one of the demon sect's elders." Yu Kang asked, "If that's the case, aren't you going to chase him?" That weapon looked extremely important. Hao Tian said, "First, that man is far too powerful. Fighting him would be pure stupidity. Second, retrieving the crimson demonic weapon isn't my responsibility. And third, I'm on vacation. I'm not wasting my time. Miss Yu Kang, I'll see you later." And with that, Hao Tian sped off. Yu Kang muttered, "Who would want to see you again anyway? Ever since I met you, nothing good has happened." But then she noticed that Hao Tian's divine beast, Yuan, had followed him. Yu Kang thought, "Where's that divine beast going?" Well, Hao Tian is actually pretty strong, and his personality isn't that bad. He even looks kind of amazing. Wait, why am I thinking about Hao Tian? He solved the entire situation and then just left me here. If I see him next time, I will not let him go easily. No, wait. I literally just told him I never want to meet him again. Yu Kang shook her head and yelled at the disciples, "It's time to wake up." She slapped both of them awake. Mayan asked, "What happened here? And where is the patriarch?" Yu Kang explained the whole story to them. Mayan said, "So according to you, that secret treasure was actually a demon sect weapon, and you and brother Hao Tian saved us." Yu Kang replied, "You could also say we were just lucky. The patriarch was already near death, so he was easy to kill." Mayan said, "Brother Hao Tian already left? I couldn't even thank him." Byron said, "Don't worry, the heavenly summit is coming soon. With brother Hao Tian's strength, he'll definitely represent his sect." Mayan nodded, "Good, I'll thank him there." Yu Kang asked, "The heavenly summit? What's that?" Mayan explained, "Miss Yu Kang, your illusionary palace lives separated from the world, so maybe you don't know. In the Manhwa continent, all sects formed an alliance. Every 10 years, 5 cultivators from each sect gather and compete for rankings. This event is called the Heavenly Summit. The sect's ranking decides how many resources they get." Yu Kang asked, "So, can I join?" Mayan said, "Your illusionary palace is a major sect. You can join without any problem." Yu Kang thought, "If I attend the Heavenly Summit, I'll definitely meet Hao Tian again. Looks like I'll need to make a trip back to my sect." Meanwhile, Hao Tian was thinking, how did that man appear there? Using that kind of magic requires extremely high-level skills, and a huge amount of spiritual energy. His power was terrifying. I would have needed 1/3 of my strength to cancel his attack. The demon sect is growing far too dangerous. They even dared to attack my master. The crimson demonic weapon means a lot to them, and they'll stop at nothing to get it. Sure, I could easily steal it back, but doing so would bring disaster upon my sect. I've lived in the King Tian Sword Sect for most of my life. I can't cause trouble for them. Suddenly, he sensed something. Hao Tian turned and said, "Why are you following me?" Yuan stepped forward and hugged him tightly. Hao Tian asked, "Yuan, are you following me because you have nowhere else to go?" Yuan hugged him even tighter. Hao Tian sighed, "All right, you can stay with me, but whenever you want to leave, feel free to go. You don't need to say goodbye." Hearing this, Yuan became overjoyed and started crying. Hao Tian thought, I never imagined that someone like me, just an ordinary sect disciple, would end up taking a divine beast home with me. Hao Tian said, "It's a good thing you're like the wind, silent and unnoticed. This way, you can avoid being seen by many people. If I ever get the chance in the future, I'll definitely help fix your inability to speak. Look ahead, this is the King Tian Sword Sect. From today onward, this sect is your home too." Scene shifts to Immortal Yuzhen's residence. Sect leader Wen Jian arrives and says, "Immortal Yuzhen, how is Hall Master Gu?" Immortal Yuzhen replied, "Many of his bones are broken. His dantian is severely damaged. Even his 5 internal organs have suffered serious injuries. If he had arrived half an hour later, even a god couldn't have saved him." Sect leader Wen Jian said, "Then, what is his condition now?" Immortal Yuzhen said, "I've already given him the immortal restoration pill. He won't die, that much I can guarantee." Wen Jian said, "Hall Master Gu, do not worry. I will go to the Alliance immediately and demand an explanation." Scene shifts to the Heavenly Sect's secret realm, the Ghostly Moon Realm. The Patriarch of the Purple Spirit Sect, a 4th stage Transcendent Realm cultivator, asked, "Elder Brother Wen Jian, why have you summoned all of us here? What do you need to discuss?" Sect leader Wen Jian said, "Everyone, listen carefully. The Demon Sect has become extremely active everywhere. One of the cities in King Tian Province was completely sacrificed, and the one responsible was a Demon Sect elder. Elder Muzhin of the Demon Sect created the Crimson Demonic Weapon, a weapon capable of releasing demon soldiers. Understand how serious this is. Although my sect's disciples failed to retrieve the crimson demonic weapon, they did bring back the blood spiritual pearl. When I learned this, I sent Hall Master Gu to present the pearl to the Alliance, so everyone could understand the danger. But a demon sect elder ambushed him, stole the blood spiritual pearl, and severely injured him, to the point his cultivation is heavily damaged. The Purple Spirit Sect Patriarch said, "How is this possible? How could a demon sect elder injure Hall Master Gu so badly? He is at the first stage of the Transcendent Realm, and has strong defensive magic." Next, the Patriarch of the Taiju sect, a 9th stage Transcendent Realm expert, spoke. "Everything you said is extremely serious. This means there is a spy within our alliance. From now on, all sects must thoroughly investigate their disciples and elders. If the spy remains among us, information will continue to leak. Also, every major sect should cleanse its territory. If you find any demon sect cultivator, kill them instantly. And if the enemy is too powerful, all sects will join forces." He asked sect leader Wen Jian, "Are you satisfied with this arrangement?" Wen Jian replied, "If these measures are carried out properly and immediately, eliminating the demon sect will become much easier." Scene shifts to Yuzhen Sect's Patriarch, a 4th stage Transcendent Realm cultivator. He said, "Just a few hours ago, my disciples returned and informed me they encountered an elder from the Demon Cloud sect, while searching for treasure in the Young Mountains. That elder absorbed most of their spiritual energy. If he absorbed a little more, they would have died. Fortunately, the demon sect elder possessed a precious treasure, the heaven-passing jade, which absorbed the elder's life essence. In the end, 2 cultivators worked together to kill him. One was the Illusionary Palace's female disciple, Yu Qiang, and the other was a cultivator named Hao Tian." Hearing Hao Tian's name, sect leader Wen Jian was shocked. He said, "Hao Tian? As far as I know, Hao Tian was on vacation. He shouldn't have been involved in anything." The Yuzhen Sect Patriarch asked, "Sect leader Wen Jian, do you know Hao Tian?" Wen Jian replied, "Yes, there is someone named Hao Tian in the King Tian Sword sect, but he is only at the 6th level of spiritual realm. For him to play a major role is impossible. He must have only assisted the Illusionary Palace disciple. When I return to my sect, I'll question him and find out exactly what happened." Then, the Patriarch of the Sky sect, Zhu Jing, who is at the 8th level of the Transcendent Realm, he says, "The demon sect has become far too active. That's why I want to change the rules of the upcoming Heavenly Summit, so the disciples can grow more quickly." What do all the patriarchs think? The Patriarch of the Taiju sect objected. Changing the rules would be wrong. Since the alliance was formed, the Heavenly Summit rules have only changed 3 times. Modifying them should be our last resort. Zhu Jing said, "Don't worry, it's not as difficult as you think. We will set the rewards so high that every disciple will put their full effort into winning. For the first prize of this year's Heavenly Summit, I plan to offer this item." Scene shifted. Hao Tian arrives at his master's residence. Hao Tian said, "Master, how is your recovery?" Master Gu replied, "Thanks to Immortal Yuzhen, I recovered quite well in just a few days. I just need a little more rest." Hao Tian said, "That makes me really happy. I brought you spiritual tea. It will relieve your pain and help restore your spiritual energy." Master Gu tasted it. "Hao Tian, this tea is very good, but you shouldn't waste time cultivating plants. You're still only at the 6th level of the spiritual realm. Among the true disciples, your cultivation is one of the lowest. You should focus more." Hao Tian thought, "Here we go again, another long lecture because of my low cultivation." He released a bit of his real spiritual energy. Hao Tian said, "Master, look, I'm actually at the 8th level of the spiritual realm." Master Gu was shocked and happy. "You reached the 8th level? But, it took you 5 years to get from the 6th to the 8th level. Meanwhile Jiani started cultivating later than you, and has already become a powerful purple chaos realm cultivator." Hao Tian replied, "Master, don't worry, I'll work harder from now on." Master Gu sighed, "It's fine. I know talking about cultivation isn't your favorite thing, but the fact that you came to visit me makes me very happy." Hao Tian smiled, "All right master, I'll leave now. You should rest." But Master Gu stopped him. "Wait, when I was on my trip, Master Jiang Bie attacked me. He's a very powerful elder from the demon sect. The jade pendant you gave me for my birthday saved my life. It blocked one of his deadliest attacks. Then, suddenly, a short strike appeared from nowhere and injured Jiang Bie, allowing me to escape." Hao Tian, tell me honestly, are you hiding something from me? For example, did you seal your cultivation? Or conceal your true realm? Hao Tian immediately denied it. "Master, what are you saying? If I hid my cultivation, you and the Patriarch would have noticed." Master Gu nodded. "True, since the day you started cultivating, you've always been beside me. Hiding anything from me would be nearly impossible." Hao Tian agreed. "Exactly, Master." Master Gu asked, "Where did you get that jade pendant?" Hao Tian said. I found it in a secret realm. I sensed that it was dangerous but also very valuable, so I decided to give it to you as a birthday gift. Master Gu murmured, such a precious item. It seems the pendant contains the remnant soul of a fallen immortal, someone not of this world. Regardless, I'm alive today because of you. Hao Tian said. Master, what are you saying? But suddenly Master Gu attacked Hao Tian with a powerful strike. Hao Tian shouted, Master, what are you doing? Why are you attacking me? He thought, why does everyone feel the need to test me? Master Gu said, relax. I just wanted to test your spiritual strength. Even though you're at the 8th level, your reaction speed is still too slow. Hao Tian, shocked, said, Master, everything you just said is true. Just then, Hao Tian's book fell to the ground. Master Gu asked, Hao Tian, what is this? Hao Tian quickly said, nothing, Master. Just a simple book I read when I'm free. Master Gu said, all right, stop talking. Focus on cultivation and stop reading useless books. Hao Tian thought, strange, Master didn't scold me this time. As Hao Tian left, Master Gu pulled out the same book from under his pillow. Master Gu said, interesting, Hao Tian likes the book I wrote. Looks like the edition he has is a limited one. Did he go to Young City during his vacation and buy it? If he doesn't find out the truth about me, that would be best. Scene shifts to the main hall. Sect leader Wen Jian announced, as you all know, the rules of the Heavenly Summit will be changed this year. Hall Master Feng Tian asked, Sect leader, previous summits were meant to strengthen friendship among martial artists. So, what kind of Heavenly Summit will this one be? Sect leader Wen Jian said, this time, the disciples will face many different challenges. Out of 10 patriarchs, 7 agreed to change the rules. However, no disciple is allowed to launch lethal attacks on another. Before joining the fight, all cultivators must sign a contract. Also, an elder from each sect will be present to ensure the disciples follow the rules, and do not fight to the death. Hall Master Len Tong said, not every disciple who participates in the Heavenly Summit is a genius. Sect leader Wen Jian replied, Hall Master Len Tong, don't worry. As you can see, the demon sect is becoming extremely active. To face the dangers of the future, we must prepare the young generation now. Otherwise, no one will grow strong enough to survive the demon sect's attacks. Hall Master Dong Gang said, for our disciples, both demon sect cultivators and beasts from the secret realms are major threats. Every cultivator lives with the risk of being attacked at any moment. Hall Master Gu added, you are absolutely right. When facing danger, a cultivator must remain calm. They must be able to make decisions within seconds. This ability doesn't depend on cultivation level, but it does determine whether a cultivator lives or dies. Sect leader Wen Jian continued, exactly. Whoever gets first place in this competition will receive an extraordinary reward from the Sky Sect, the final key to the Jade Dust Emperor's tomb. Hearing this, all Hall Masters were shocked. Hall Master Gu explained, the first emperor of this era, 5 million years ago, was the Jade Dust Emperor. Before dying, he sealed an incredible technique inside his tomb. That tomb is located in GUC, and it can only be opened with 5 keys. Sect leader Wen Jian said, until now, only 4 keys existed, but surprisingly, the Sky Sect possesses the 5th key. If we acquire it, we can finally enter the Jade Dust Tomb. So we must win first place in the Heavenly Summit. That's why I am announcing that, within 1 week, our sect will hold internal competitions. Scene shifted. The disciples gathered and whispered among themselves, have you heard? This year's Heavenly Summit will be totally different. We'll be allowed to use talismans, pills, secret treasures, even forbidden arts. This one is going to be extremely dangerous. Our sect competition happens in a week. The top 5 will earn amazing rewards, and also get the chance to represent our sect in the Heavenly Summit. Everyone rushed to buy new treasures and pills. Hao Tian said, good thing I already bought a few items earlier. Just then, Wei Ren arrived. Senior brother Hao Tian, how are you? Hao Tian replied, junior brother Wei Ren, I'm fine. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you're buying the same junk these people are. Wei Ren proudly said, brother Hao Tian, I have your incredible sword technique. I don't need anything else. Hao Tian warned him, there will always be someone stronger than you. Don't become careless because of overconfidence. Wei Ren replied, senior brother, I'm going to win first place in the inner sect competition. The top 3 will get the right to challenge true disciples. If they defeat one, they can replace them. Hao Tian asked, wait, what you said, is that true? Wei Ren nodded, absolutely. Many inner sect disciples are already planning to challenge you. Hao Tian thought, amazing, this is my chance to become an inner sect disciple. All I need is to lose to someone intentionally, and I'll fall into the inner sect ranking system, making my job much easier. Wei Ren admired him. Brother Hao Tian is incredible. Anyone who underestimates him is in big trouble. Suddenly, Hao Tian receives a summon. Master Gu said, Hao Tian, come to me immediately. Hao Tian thought, strange, why is Master calling me? He arrived shortly after. Hao Tian said, Master, you called? Master Gu responded, Hao Tian, I have a rule for you regarding the upcoming competition. You must follow it strictly. Hao Tian asked, what rule, Master? Master Gu said, it's not difficult. I want you to place within the top 20 of the True Disciples competition. Hao Tian blurted out, Master, that's impossible. He thought, I already planned to drop into the inner sect, and now Master wants me to reach the top 20 of the True Disciples. Master Gu explained, our King Tian Sword sect has 52 True Disciples. If you take the competition seriously, entering the top 20 isn't that hard. Hao Tian said, Master, if I had that kind of ability, I wouldn't be ranked so low. Master Gu said, Hao Tian, do you remember why I made you a true disciple in the first place? I remember the spiritual energy blast you released in the ring. Your technique mastery wasn't inferior to any true disciple. Hao Tian thought, I should never have used even the slightest part of my real power. I didn't expect it to cause so many problems. He said, Master, that strike was a mistake. I can't repeat it, even if I tried. Master Gu asked, so, are you refusing me? Hao Tian said, Master, it's not that I don't want to obey you. It's just that I truly can't do this. He thought, and nobody is going to stop me from becoming a slacker again. Master Gu placed his novel on the table and said, Hao Tian, are you still not going to listen to me? Seeing the novel, Hao Tian asked, Master, what is this? Master Gu said, Hao Tian, just read it once. Hao Tian thought, incredible, Master Gu reads this book too. But when he checked the author's name, he froze. The novel was written by Master Gu himself. Hao Tian said, Master, this is amazing. You wrote this book? Master Gu replied, look here, this is the script for season 12, which hasn't been released yet. Hao Tian thought, unbelievable, my favorite novel series was written by my own master. But then he suddenly became nervous. He asked, Master, why are you telling me this? Please tell me clearly, what are your intentions? Master Gu took the book back and said, Hao Tian, you have no choice. If you don't reach the top 20, I will kill the junior sister of the female main character in the next book. Hao Tian panicked internally. The female lead's junior sister, she's my favorite character. He yelled, Master, how can you do that? You can't just decide a character's fate like that. How will you face your fans after doing something so horrible? Master Gu smirked and said, then I'll marry off the female main character's senior sister to someone else. Hao Tian staggered, shocked. Master, she's my second favorite character. What you're planning is too cruel. But then an idea struck him, a dangerous one. Hao Tian said, Master, aren't you afraid? What if I go and tell the patriarch that you're the author of this novel? Master Gu replied calmly, then I'll kill the main character's childhood sweetheart right in front of him. Hearing that, Hao Tian almost coughed up blood. Master Gu added, but if you place in the top 20, I'll treat your favorite characters very well, and I'll even let you read the unreleased script. I can give you a full set of limited edition character art books too. Hao Tian felt mentally tortured. Fine, Master, I'll do it. When Hao Tian stepped outside, someone called out, Senior brother Hao Tian, how are you? Hao Tian replied sternly, Kadian, listen carefully. Master wants to see you inside right now. Kadian was startled. Seeing Hao Tian so angry scared him. Inside, Master Gu thought, Hao Tian, your tricks won't work on me. You will enter the top 20. Kadian wondered, why is Master in such a good mood today? Master Gu said, Kadian, go to Hidden Mirror Peak and inform senior sister Jianni about the upcoming competition. That girl is so obsessed with cultivation she hasn't paid attention to anything lately. Scene shifts to Hidden Mirror Peak. Kadian arrived and called out, Senior sister Jianni, I greet you. But there was no answer. He thought, she must have closed herself off for cultivation. Suddenly, the gate exploded open, a terrifying energy burst outward. Frightened, Kadian shouted, Senior sister Jianni, are you okay? He held the stone slab Hao Tian had given him. Jianni suddenly appeared behind him. Kadian felt suffocated by the killing intent. Jianni asked, Kadian, did you see it? He stammered, no, senior sister, I didn't see anything. Jianni said, good, you may leave. She muttered to herself, I was so focused on cultivating that I didn't notice someone coming in. Senior brother Hao Tian told me no one should see this tablet, but thanks to the stone slab he gave me, my sword technique has improved a lot. She clenched her fist. If I fought Eldermo again, I could defeat him in 3 strikes. With only a few days left, I must keep practicing. Senior brother Hao Tian, wait for me. I'll definitely impress you in this competition. Scene shifts to Hao Tian, who was ranting, Master is a terrible person, threatening me like that. If I use my true strength, my real power will be exposed. But then he smirked. Still, this competition has no rules. I can use hidden treasures to win easily. Nobody will suspect anything. He checked his treasures and noticed the heaven-passing jade, which came from Demon Patriarch. The jade spoke, "Touch me, and everything will be yours. Just accept me, and I can do anything in this world for you. Come closer." Hao Tian was annoyed by its desperate tone. Who doesn't want unlimited power? Just touch me. But Hao Tian picked it up and threw it away. He said angrily, "Stop talking nonsense. You're giving me a headache. Say one more word and I'll smash you." The jade object stuttered. Why? Why aren't you falling under my word magic control? I've lived a long life. No one has ever resisted me. Hao Tian replied, "Word magic." It felt more like I was listening to some cheap advertisement. The heaven-passing jade was stunned silent. Hao Tian asked, "So tell me, what exactly are you?" Heaven-passing jade said proudly, "I am a devil. My name is Heaven-passing Lord." Hao Tian answered, "Heaven-passing Lord? Never heard of it." Heaven-passing Lord snapped, "Stop your nonsense. I came to this world with the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord returned, but I stayed behind. My status is far above all of you, so you should address me as Lord." Hao Tian said calmly, "So basically, you were abandoned." Hearing this, Heaven-passing Lord became furious. "How dare you insult me? If you think you're so skilled, insert your energy into my heaven-passing jade. Then you'll understand what I truly am." Hao Tian replied, "So this jade contains a secret space, possibly filled with treasures. Fine, entering won't be hard." He injected his energy into the jade, and instantly appeared inside the heaven-passing jade's void. Inside, Heaven-passing Lord glared at him. "You actually dared to enter here?" Hao Tian looked around and said, "Pretty underwhelming. You don't even have a physical body." Heaven-passing Lord shouted, "Silence. You dare mock me? I am the heaven-passing demon lord. A mere human like you isn't worthy of speaking to me." Hao Tian said, "Hold on, you changed your title again." Heaven-passing Lord grumbled, "I didn't change it. I belong to the heavenly demon race, and demon lord is my position. That's why I am the heaven-passing Lord." Hao Tian sighed, "You make everything so complicated. Your entire body is purple, and you're a heavenly demon, so from now on, I'll just call you Purple Demon." Heaven-passing Lord protested, "You should respect others' names. Call me Heaven-passing Lord, not Purple Demon." Hao Tian smirked, "Nope, Purple Demon it is." Purple Demon's face twisted with anger. "Laugh all you want, but not for long. This entire void is under my control. You entered easily, but leaving won't be so simple." Hao Tian asked, "Fine then, tell me, how do I get out?" Purple Demon said, "There are only two ways. First, I allow you to leave, but with your attitude, that is impossible. Second, you make a deal with me. I can give you money, power, cultivation, women, whatever you want. Just tell me your wish." Hao Tian replied, "Interesting, alright, extend my lifespan by 100 years, and make it so I never have to work again." Purple Demon said, "Extending lifespan is impossible for me." Hao Tian sighed, "Then you're useless." Purple Demon nearly exploded with rage. "Fine. Any other wish?" Hao Tian said, "Yes. Release a new chapter of Cultivation with Junior every time I want, and keep releasing it without stopping." Purple Demon blinked. "What even is that?" Hao Tian proudly held up a book. "It's a famous novel written by my master. Let me promote it properly. Cultivation with Junior." Purple Demon roared, "Why would I complete such ridiculous wishes? You're asking for nonsense I cannot fulfill." Hao Tian shrugged, "Purple Demon, you're really good for nothing. I gave you two simple wishes, you couldn't complete even one." Purple Demon snapped, "You refuse to call me Heaven-passing Lord, and you refuse to make a proper deal. Fine then, stay here forever. Within 2 or 3 days you'll die. Beg all you want, I won't let you out." But then, a giant hand made of pure energy appeared behind him, and slammed him to the ground. Purple Demon's eyes widened. You can touch the spiritual energy? How is that possible?" Hao Tian said casually, "You said it yourself, if you give permission, I can leave." Purple Demon trembled, "You're trying to harm me. Unless you master the law of the universe, you can't even scratch me." But then he suddenly froze in fear. Hao Tian asked, "You call this the law of the universe?" Purple Demon stammered, How do you know the law of the universe?" Hao Tian answered, "I learned it not too long ago." A moment later, Purple Demon forcibly expelled him from the jade. Hao Tian dusted himself off. "I didn't expect this heaven-passing jade to be so useful. I beat that Purple Demon so badly that he gave me tons of treasures. With these treasures, I don't have to worry about anything. I'll definitely reach the top 20 in this competition." He stretched. "For now, I should rest." Scene shifts inside a cave. A man was speaking respectfully to the demon sect's elder. The elder said, "So the King Tian Sword sect is holding a competition?" The man replied, "My lord, with the treasures you gave me, I will surely reach the top 5. The demon sect elder said, "Because of your information, I managed to steal the blood spirit pill from Hall Master Gu." The man bowed, "My lord, if you hadn't helped me, I would have died long ago. I will do anything for you. The elder laughed. If you make a big name for yourself in the heavenly summit, I will personally take you away from this King Tian sword sect. The man said, do not worry, my lord. Since you commanded it, failure is impossible. 2 days later, at King Tian sword sect, many disciples were gathered. Sect leader Wen Jian announced, all King Tian disciples have assembled. This competition will test not only your cultivation, but also determine the most capable disciple in the sect. Unlike previous competitions, this one allows talismans, elixirs, formations, anything. Your goal is simple, defeat your opponent and rise in rank. But remember, you must not intentionally injure your fellow disciples. All peak masters and elders will be watching. He raised his hand. The inner disciple competition begins now. In the sky, glowing tablets appeared. Weiren said, my rank is A01. Some people received rank B, others rank C. Sect leader Wen Jian announced, when the tablet in your hand begins to shine, you must immediately enter the arena. The first match will be between Jingting and Wei Jin. Nearby, a hall master asked, Hall Master Tang, who do you think are the most outstanding inner disciples? Hall Master Tang replied, there are indeed a few excellent disciples among the inner ranks. Hall Master Gu added, with the spiritual energy these inner disciples possess, each fight will probably take as long as drinking a cup of tea. Others laughed. Hall Master Gu, at this rate, all results will be out quickly. The matches continued one after another. Next was the fight between Yang Tai and Wei Rin, the final match of the day. Hao Tian said, so this means the inner disciple competition is almost over. Junior brother Wei Rin, this is great, you've made it to the finals. The host announced, Yang Tai is from the Moon Spirit Hall and is at the 5th level of the spiritual realm. But junior brother Wei Rin is matching him evenly, even though he is a whole realm lower. Wei Ren's footwork and sword technique were so precise, that the host said they could be compared to a true disciples. Hao Tian nodded proudly, I only taught Wei Ren a little, but he's applying the techniques very well. He'll become a true disciple in no time. Yang Tai called out, Wei Ren, at this rate we'll never decide who's winning. Wei Ren replied, you're right, senior brother Yang. Let's both use our trump cards. Yang Tai activated a talisman. People gasped, a soul gas-burning talisman. By sealing your spiritual energy, you can unleash your full power. To fight Wei Ren, senior brother Yang Tai is actually using a 4th grade talisman. Then Wei Ren swallowed a pill. Everyone exclaimed, that's an explosive energy pill. It's a 3rd grade pill, its effect is comparable to the burning talisman. Both unleashed terrifying attacks. The clash shook the arena violently. After the explosion, Wei Ren said, I admit defeat. Yang Tai answered honestly, my cultivation realm was higher. If you were at the same realm, I would have definitely lost. Wei Ren was stunned. He thought, if brother Hao Tian weren't here, even if I studied sword techniques my whole life, I still wouldn't have reached this stage. The host declared, the inner disciple competition has ended. Yang Tai from the Moon Spirit Hall is the victor. Sect leader Wen Jian praised them, you are both impressive. One has great foundation, the other great talent. You both have the potential to become true disciples. Immortal Yuzhen, please heal them. Immortal Yuzhen nodded, it is my responsibility. After healing, the host announced, Yang Tai, since you placed first among inner disciples, you may choose any true disciple to challenge. If you defeat them, you will replace them. Yang Tai said, I choose, senior brother Hao Tian. The entire audience burst into laughter. Unbelievable, he chose Hao Tian. Hao Tian never trains, he works a 9 to 5. He's going to lose instantly. It'll be fun to watch him get crushed. Hao Tian entered the arena. Well, looks like it's finally my turn. Wei Ren whispered, senior brother Yang Tai, please be careful. Yang Tai frowned. What did he mean by that? Why do I have a bad feeling? The host declared, the match begins. Yang Tai said, senior brother Hao Tian, I've heard so much about you. Everyone talks about you in the sect. Hao Tian replied, oh really? So you know me? Yang Tai said seriously, to be honest, I'm disappointed. Every inner disciple trains day and night, just to earn the chance to become a true disciple. But you work a 9 to 5 job. Never cultivate, and sleep while the rest of us train. Your laziness has no place in the King Tian sword sect. Today, I will defeat you, and take the seat of true disciple. Hao Tian activates his talisman and said, I don't see what's wrong with a 9 to 5 job. Why does that bother you so much? Yang Tai snapped, enough. Focus on the fight. You're definitely going to lose. He launched a powerful attack, but Hao Tian stopped it with his barrier. The crowd gasped. Hall Master Tang shouted, Hao Tian, are you mocking us? King Tian sword sect disciples master the sword, yet you're using talismans and tricks? This is disgraceful. But suddenly a voice echoed, Hall Master Tang, are you saying the King Tian sword sect only accepts those who follow the way of the sword? Is there no room for any other path? It was Hall Master Gu. If everyone in this sect were like you, the sect would have collapsed long ago. Hallmaster Tang turned red with rage. What do you mean by that? Sect leader Wen Jian stepped forward. Enough. These are the rules of the fight. The Heavenly Summit competition also follows the same rules. Any method of victory is allowed. You cannot criticize him. Yang Tai yelled, Senior brother Hao Tian, you're a true disciple. Instead of facing me directly, you're hiding behind a talisman like a turtle. But before he could finish, Hao Tian stopped Yang Tai's sword with just 2 fingers. Yang Tai froze in shock. Hao Tian said, since you're so desperate to fight me, I'll give you that chance. People in the crowd whispered, this is going to be a great fight. Wei Ren smiled, Senior brother Hao Tian, it's good that I already know you. Yang Tai added, Senior brother Hao Tian, we're finally going to fight. If anything I said earlier offended you, please forgive me. I spoke out of anger. I had no intention of disrespecting you. Hao Tian laughed. I'm a true disciple. I won't get offended over such a small thing. Yang Tai nodded. Good. I'll be happy to fight you. But suddenly, Hao Tian activated another talisman. Wei Ren gasped. What talisman is that? I've never seen it before. High above the arena, a massive fireball appeared, so huge and terrifying that everyone froze. How is this possible? Spectators shouted. How can a small talisman release that much spirit energy? Yang Tai began attacking the fireballs one after another, but no matter how many he destroyed, hundreds more appeared. He shouted, How is this possible? I'm attacking non-stop, but there are still so many left. Soon all the fireballs turned toward Yang Tai. Yang Tai clenched his fists. No matter what, I'll fight until the end. He kept attacking until blood dripped from his mouth. Then, a massive explosion erupted, ripping Yang Tai's clothes apart. The girls in the crowd screamed and covered their eyes. Wei Ren shook his head. I warned you to be careful, or this would happen. Then the inner disciple ranked 3rd muttered. At first I considered challenging senior brother Hao Tian, but after seeing this, absolutely not. Hao Tian scratched his head. Was I too harsh on Yang Tai? The host announced, Hao Tian wins. Next, Wei Ren. Step forward and choose your opponent. Wei Ren bowed. Senior brother Hao Tian, your fight was amazing. Hao Tian replied, good luck with yours, Wei Ren. Wei Ren said, I would like to challenge senior brother Lin. Hao Tian thought, brother Lin is ranked 3rd from the bottom among the true disciples. Good choice, Wei Ren. Suddenly a master called, Hao Tian, come here. Hao Tian wondered, why is master calling me? He bowed. Master, elders, greetings. But all the masters looked unusually serious. Master Gu said, Hao Tian, where did you get the talisman you used earlier? Hao Tian answered, Master, when I entered the secret realm, I found it near the ancestor's statue. It was an Inferno Dragon talisman. I received 100 of them. He thought privately, in reality, I got it from the purple demon. Its power is equivalent to a purple Chaos Realm expert, at around the 4th level. Using it lets me reach high rankings easily, and no one will question my strength. Plus, it completes the deal I made. Master Gu nodded, so that's why your attack was so powerful. Hallmaster Tang snapped, Hao Tian, you are disgraceful. As a disciple of the King Tian sword sect, you didn't even use the sword. You relied on talismans. Hao Tian replied calmly, according to the rules, anything is allowed. If you disagree, are you saying the rules set by the Patriarch are wrong? Hallmaster Tang growled, I'll see how long you can hide behind these excuses. Sect leader Wen Jian interrupted, Hallmaster Tang, that's enough. Hao Tian already explained that he received them from the secret realm. There is no reason to interrogate him further. Hao Tian, you may leave. You performed well. Hao Tian bowed. Thank you, sect leader. He thought, sect leader helped me a lot today. After the competition, I'll give him plenty of my tea leaves. The host announced, Wei Ren has lost, but his performance was excellent. He'll become a true disciple soon. Now the inner disciple competition is over, the true disciple battles will begin. Today's match, A1 versus B1. Hao Tian muttered, my rank is B23. Looks like my match will be much later. After several fights, the host said, next match, Illusory Moon Hall's Kuyuan versus Hidden Mirror Hall's Yujiani. The audience roared with excitement. Hao Tian said, Jiani seems really popular, but then another group cheered loudly. Oh, many people are cheering for Kuyuan too, Hao Tian observed. Rumors say she's extremely beautiful, makes sense the male disciples are excited. Kuyuan entered the arena. She was ranked 6th among the true disciples, and at the 4th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Then Jiani arrived, rank 1 among the true disciple, already at the 5th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Hao Tian thought, my sword technique really helped her. Her cultivation rose by 1 whole level. A master whispered, Jiani's power has increased again. She truly is exceptional. Hallmaster Tang said, Kuyuan is also formidable. Her illusory moon sword technique blends magic and sword arts. Fighting her is no joke. Immortal Yushin asked the sect leader, Patriarch, who do you think will win? Sect leader Wen Jian replied, they're the same age, but Jiani's cultivation is slightly higher. So the result is clear, Jiani will win. The host announced, the match begins. Ku Yuan said, Senior sister, it has been a year since we last fought. Let's see how strong I've become. Jiani replied, Ku Yuan, I also want to test how strong I am now. Ku Yuan continued, last time, I launched 133 attacks on you, but none of them affected you. Yet with a single strike, you defeated me instantly. Since that day, I've trained relentlessly. Today, I want to fight longer than before. My sword technique is far stronger now, and I finally have a real chance at winning. Finishing her words, she launched a fierce attack at Jiani. Jiani activated her own sword technique, and then suddenly stepped out of the ring. People shouted, Jiani, what are you doing? The match isn't over. But then, because of Jiani's technique, countless sword strikes surged into existence, and Ku Yuan's attack collapsed. The grip on Ku Yuan's sword weakened, and the blade slipped from her hands. Ku Yuan lowered her head. Jiani, I admit defeat. Jiani shook her head. Ku Yuan, the only reason I won is because you let me. The spectators murmured in confusion. What's happening? Why did Ku Yuan give up? A disciple pointed and said, Senior brother Zhao, did you see that strike? Senior brother Zhao nodded. Incredible. To dispel every illusion with a single strike, Jiani's sword mastery has improved dramatically. Her attack speed was 10 times faster than Ku Yuan's. That's why Ku Yuan's sword was pushed in the opposite direction, and even her grip weakened. Another disciple added, because her grip weakened, she lost control of her sword. That's why she surrendered. This disciple was Jiang Du, the third-ranked true disciple of the Flowing Cloud sect. Across the arena, the second-ranked true disciple, Zhao Tianlu of the King Tian Sword sect, said, in that short moment, Jiani must have unleashed over 30 strikes. Her speed was so high, I couldn't even count properly. Hao Tian added, no one could count. Jiani released 23 strikes continuously. Her talent is extraordinary. She is fully qualified to be the sect's top disciple. I gave her my sword mark, and she mastered the fledgling way of the sword. The hall masters were stunned. If we're not mistaken, that was indeed the fledgling way of the sword. Master Bu nodded. You're right, there is no mistake. Jiani, at less than 20 years old, has mastered the fledgling way of the sword. With talent like this, her future is unstoppable. To understand the fledgling way, is to comprehend the sword in 3,000 different ways. Across the world, there are 10,000 cultivators at the 9th level of the Purple Chaos Realm, but only those who grasp the fledgling way of the sword can reach the transcendent realm. Cultivators risk their lives in dangerous regions, for even a chance to comprehend this way. Finding such a talent is nearly impossible. If nurtured correctly, Jiani may become the successor of the King Tian Sword sect. Sect leader Wen Jian said, with a disciple like her, our sect will only grow stronger. After the competition, I will summon Jiani, and ask how she trains. Hao Tian muttered, at this rate, the competition might not even finish today. It's almost time for me to do my part. The host continued, next battle. Flowing Cloud Sect's Guanxin versus Hao Tian. Even the host looked nervous when Hao Tian's name was announced. Guanxin entered the ring. He was ranked 13th among the true disciples, and was at the 2nd level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Hao Tian thought, I didn't expect in my first fight to be with someone from my own hall. The battle started. Hao Tian activated his talisman. Guanxin said, ever since joining the Flowing Cloud Hall, my dream has been to make it the #1 hall in the King Tian Sword sect. I forced my junior brothers to train intensely, so their cultivation would improve, and they could contribute to the hall's glory. But you, Hao Tian, a true disciple, put in no effort at all. Because of your laziness, our hall's reputation is sinking. Hao Tian thought, why is senior brother Guan so extreme? Even the hall master isn't this obsessed. He said aloud, senior brother Guan, I respect your dedication, but you can't force your mindset onto me. Working 9 to 5 is not laziness. Cultivation isn't the only thing in life. There are many experiences we should also seek. I learned this lesson the hard way. I hope you realize it too. Guanxin snapped, stop making excuses. You're not even using sword techniques, just cheap tricks. Today, I'll break your talisman and force you to use the sword. After this, you'll have no choice but to follow the way of the sword. For a disciple of the King Tian Sword sect, there is only one true path. His attack came crashing down, shattering Hao Tian's barrier instantly. The crowd gasped. That strike was terrifying. Only someone at the 5th level of the Purple Chaos Realm could unleash something like that. But Guanxin is only at 2nd level. After being hit by that, Hao Tian must be frozen. He can't move anymore. He definitely can't continue the fight. The host announced, this battle is over. The victor is. But suddenly, Hao Tian shattered the ice around him. Hao Tian said, Senior brother Guan, your power is truly amazing. I didn't expect your style to be this strong. Everyone watching was stunned. Guanshan thought, I used my full strength in that strike, yet Hao Tian is completely fine. How is that possible? Guanshan said aloud, I admit your talisman was powerful, but now that it's broken, will you continue fighting, or will you admit defeat? Hao Tian replied, Senior brother Guan, I'd honestly like to surrender, but unfortunately, I can't afford to lose. So please forgive me. Saying this, he activated another talisman. Guanshan said, Hao Tian, if I could destroy one talisman, I can destroy another. Talisman creation isn't easy, don't waste them. But suddenly, Guanshan froze in shock. Hao Tian said, you broke the first one, but this one, you won't be able to destroy. Everyone gasped as Hao Tian summoned a massive barrier made of talismans. The crowd murmured, is this some kind of joke? How does he have so many talismans? Guanshan launched repeated attacks, but even after constant strikes, only a few talismans were destroyed. People whispered, Senior brother Guan won't be able to break this. This massive talisman array is impossible to deal with. A hall master shouted, Hao Tian, you're using too many talismans. Do you even have the spiritual power to maintain them? You're only at the spiritual realm, this should be impossible. Hall master Tang added, he must have taken some kind of pill. That's why his spiritual energy has increased, and he can control so many talismans. Sect leader Wen Jian thought, Hao Tian, you're unbelievable. I never imagined you'd use the competition rules in such a clever way. Master Gu added, Hao Tian first used a basic talisman, which Guanshan shattered using his full power. Then Hao Tian summoned a full shield, and since Guanshan had already used his full strength, Hao Tian no longer needed to worry whether his shield would break. Did he seriously predict all of this beforehand? This is his first time fighting like this. Is it because of our agreement? Still, I'm pleased. I don't want either disciple to be hurt. Meanwhile, Guanshan continued attacking, until he was exhausted. He thought, even after using all my energy, I still can't break it. Finally, Guanshan said, enough. I admit defeat. The host announced, Guanshan has conceded defeat. Hao Tian is the winner. Hao Tian answered, Senior brother Guan, I only won because you allowed me to. Guanshan said, no, Hao Tian, your talisman shield was truly strong. Even someone at the third level of the Purple Chaos Realm would struggle to break it. But this method won't work against stronger disciples. You'll need more tricks to advance further. And remember, our Flowing Cloud Hall needs to rank higher. Hao Tian said, thank you, Senior brother. I'll keep that in mind. He thought, his words were harsh, but he wasn't wrong. Still, I don't want to rank higher. I just want to live an average life. People around whispered, Hao Tian won, but isn't he ashamed that he didn't even draw his sword? Hao Tian sighed. I knew they'd react like this. Jianni asked, Brother Hao Tian, why did you use talismans? At that moment, a true disciple from the Hidden Mirror Hall, named Luozhen, walked over. She said, Jianni, don't you think Hao Tian's performance was embarrassing? Jianni frowned. Luozhen, what are you talking about? This fight wasn't embarrassing at all. The patriarch clearly said, there are no restrictions in this competition. Winning is all that matters. Hao Tian won based on his talent, not anything else. Using so many talismans at once, is that not talent? Luozhen thought, I only started this topic to talk with Jianni. Why is she reacting so strongly? She said, but Jianni, he's a disciple of the King Tian sword sect. Not using a sword, isn't that shameful? Jianni replied firmly, who said the King Tian sword sect follows only the sword path? Our second elder reached the transcendent realm, using the way of wind, not swordsmanship. If senior brother Hao Tian didn't use the sword, it's because he didn't need to. Luozhen thought, what is wrong with Jianni? As the top disciple, she never pays attention to lazy disciples. Yet here she is, defending Hao Tian, the laziest of them all. She must have something going on in her mind. Suddenly, someone shouted, Zhao Rui, how can you be so ruthless? Hearing this, Jianni was also shocked. Hao Tian asked, what happened here? They saw a true disciple who was severely injured. His name was Yi, from the Flowing Cloud Hall, ranked 33rd among the true disciples. Hao Tian thought, this competition may not have very strict rules, but intentionally causing serious injury is strictly forbidden. So why would Zhao Rui do something like this? The host asked sternly, Zhao Rui, what have you done? Killing someone here is forbidden. Zhao Rui replied, please listen carefully. My technique, once released, cannot be taken back. I lost control, and that's how this disciple died. An elder examined the strike and said, this attack was at least equivalent to a Purple Chaos Realm, 5th level strike. Hall Master Gu, did your sect truly have such a powerful disciple? Master Gu answered, a year ago, Zhao Rui entered a secret realm. It's only been a few days since he returned. I didn't expect him to advance so quickly, from Purple Chaos 2nd level to Purple Chaos 5th level in such a short time. He must have gained something extraordinary in the secret realm, sect leader added. The technique he used is a forbidden art, mastery of explosive energy. It allows a person to release all spiritual energy into a single point. But the flaw is, once released, it cannot be controlled. So Zhao Rui didn't do this intentionally, it truly was an accident. Take Yi's body and prepare the proper arrangements. A little later, the second elder addressed everyone. I want to make something clear, Yi was not powerful enough, yet he forced himself forward. That's why he died so easily in front of Zhao Rui. Some techniques are so strong that controlling them is extremely hard. If your strength is insufficient, it's better to give up than risk death. Lu Zhen said. In all past competitions, many disciples fought until the last second, but not a single person ever died. Jiani added. Lu Zhen is right. No matter the situation, the elders and hall masters always intervene to protect the disciples. I never imagined such a big accident would happen in this competition. Meanwhile, ominous energy leaked from Yi's body. Hao Tian wondered, did I sense demonic energy coming from him? Did I make a mistake somewhere? Because of Yi's death, all remaining participants felt immense pressure. In all the remaining matches, everyone used their best techniques, but no one dared fight till the end. Most surrendered early. The second elder announced, out of 55 disciples, only 28 have advanced to the second round. The second round matches were about to begin. Hao Tian thought, if I win one more match, I'll enter the top 20. After that, my agreement with my teacher ends. I'll intentionally lose in the third round, and leave the competition. The host announced, the next match, Zhao Rui of Flowing Cloud Hall, versus Yun Zhucheng of Nebula Hall. Spectators whispered, what do you think? Who will win? One person said, Nebula Hall is strong. I think Yun Zhucheng will win. Another replied, Brother Zhao Rui reached Purple Chaos Realm, 5th level. He should win easily. Yun Zhucheng was ranked 5th among true disciples, and was at Purple Chaos Realm, 4th level. Yun Zhucheng said, Zhao Rui, I've never met you before, but seeing your battles, I can tell, you can easily defeat the top 10 true disciples. But since my rank is higher, I'll let you attack first. The girls in the crowd swooned. Brother Yun, you're amazing. Hao Tian muttered, this guy is strange. Before every move, he does an exaggerated pose. Confidence is good, but showing off like this is annoying. Zhao Rui said, Senior brother, please be careful. This attack will be dangerous. Yun Zhucheng immediately formed a barrier. Zhao Rui's attack shattered it, and Yun blocked the remaining force with his sword, but blood dripped from his mouth. Everyone gasped, how can Zhao Rui's attack be so strong? Yun steadied himself and said, Zhao Rui, I underestimated you. Hao Tian was surprised. He's still standing. I thought Yun Zhucheng was just showing off, but he's actually very smart. He deliberately provoked Zhao Rui, so Zhao Rui would strike first. And he never said he wouldn't block the attack. He was ready for it. That's how he blocked it so cleanly. Yun Zhucheng said, your technique was impressive, but I've understood its nature. He then used Nebula Hall's signature sword technique, causing massive explosions across the arena. People wondered, is the match over? Suddenly, intense surged from Zhao Rui. Yun Zhucheng thought, even after my signature move, he blocked it. Then Zhao Rui launched a terrifying attack at Yun Zhucheng. Yun said, your attack won't work on me. But the impact destroyed the Lotus battle stage beneath them, and the match took a dramatic turn. Yun Zhucheng was thinking, Zhao Rui has been hiding his true power this whole time. He finally said, alright, I concede defeat. At that moment, we see Zhao Rui halt his attack mid-air. Yun Zhucheng received only a small scratch on his forehead. Zhao Rui bowed slightly and said, thank you, senior brother, for admitting defeat. Everyone in the arena was shocked by Zhao Rui's overwhelming power. Hall Master Tang said, how did Zhao Rui become this strong? The strike he released just now was at least at the level of a Purple Chaos Realm, 6th stage. Master Gu added, that attack was unbelievably dangerous. Even if I tried, blocking it would have been impossible. If he had used even slightly more force, he could have shaken the entire city. Hall Master Lan said, but Zhao Rui stopped his attack on purpose. He clearly had no intention of harming anyone. Whatever happened today, must be a misunderstanding. Hao Tian was thinking, his strike was deadly, but at the last moment he completely withdrew the killing intent. He doesn't want to act recklessly. He must have another motive. But just a moment ago, Hao Tian had sensed demonic energy around Zhao Rui. He wondered, could Zhao Rui be connected to the demon sect? No, even if he reached Purple Chaos 5th level, there are many Transcendent Realm experts here. Even if a demon appears, I don't need to worry. The host announced, next match, Tong Jing of the Lanqing Hall, versus Hao Tian of the Flowing Cloud sect. Hall Master Tang smirked and said, Master Gu, forgive me, but your disciple Hao Tian won't last long. Master Gu thought, Hao Tian is only at the 8th level of the spiritual realm, fighting Tong Jing will be nearly impossible. Hao Tian said calmly, "Senior brother Tong Jing, let's begin." Tong Jing, a purple chaos 5th level cultivator, and ranked 4th among true disciples, replied, "Hao Tian, you barely reached this round with your talisman. Going any further is impossible for you." Hao Tian remembered, Tong Jing had advanced non-stop in the last competition, until he was defeated by Jiani. Tong Jing said, "The match has already started. If you don't intend to fight, don't waste your talisman. Just surrender. If you do it now, you won't get injured." Hao Tian replied, "Don't worry, senior brother. I want to try." Tong Jing scoffed, "That talisman of yours, I'll shatter it in one blow. Your barrier won't withstand my attacks." But suddenly, Hao Tian's talisman barrier lifted into the air, floating like a sphere. Both Tong Jing and his master were stunned. Everyone murmured, "How did Hao Tian do that?" Jiani explained, "A talisman barrier must stay in one place to remain stable. It can only draw power from heaven and earth if anchored to the ground. But Hao Tian is moving it like a ball. That's impossible for ordinary cultivators." Even Jiani thought, "Senior brother Hao Tian is incredible. Not only is his sword technique high level, but his movement talismans are on another level entirely. I could never become like him." Tong Jing shouted, "You won't be able to dodge forever." He launched a devastating strike. But Hao Tian used another talisman, causing a massive explosion of spiritual energy. A counterattack shot toward Tong Jing, leaving multiple cuts on his body. Tong Jing shouted angrily, "Hao Tian, you dare use hidden weapons to hurt me?" Hao Tian calmly answered, "This is scattering flowers, a high-level technique of the Flowing Cloud sect. It's an authentic sword technique, so you can't accuse me of foul play." Master Gu thought to himself, "Hao Tian, you're lying. We've never had such a technique." Hao Tian continued aloud, "On the contrary, you used smoke to attack me. Isn't it shameful for the 4th-ranked true disciple to rely on such tricks? You claimed you'd defeat me in one strike, but you didn't even use your real sword technique." The crowd was stunned. Jiani whispered, "Senior brother Hao Tian is amazing. He can use so many different techniques." Lu Jin asked her, "Sister Jiani, why are you smiling so much?" Hall Master Lan questioned Hall Master Tang, "You told us your disciples only use blade techniques. Is this what you call following blade discipline?" Hall Master Tang replied coldly, "I can't interfere. Winning the competition is all that matters. Whether anyone uses sword techniques or not, it doesn't matter. Have you forgotten what Patriarch said? Technique or no technique, only victory matters." Hall Master Lan thought, so this is what double standards look like. Tong Jing was furious. This damned Hao Tian keeps talking nonsense, but thanks to that, I've found his position. "Hao Tian, this match ends now." Hall Master Tang said, "It's over. Hao Tian has lost," but suddenly he froze in shock. Tong Jing was surrounded by chains. Hao Tian was standing calmly, a sword pointed toward Tong Jing. Hao Tian said, "This formation can easily trap even a purple chaos 5th stage cultivator. So, senior brother Tong Jing, will you admit defeat, or shall I continue?" Hao Tian lowered the sword closer. Tong Jing panicked. "I admit defeat. Please forgive me." The host announced, "This match is over. The winner is Hao Tian." Everyone in the arena started talking. Hao Tian won so easily. How did he even escape the barrier? Another disciple said, "I agree. It was mostly luck. But still, defeating someone from the purple chaos realm, when you're from the spiritual realm, is incredible. This achievement alone is enough for Hao Tian to be proud." Jiang Du disagreed. "No, this wasn't just luck. Tong Jing was tricked from the beginning." Xiao Tianlu asked, "Oh, and why do you think that?" Jiang Du explained, "Hao Tian started setting traps from the very start. He kept throwing hidden weapons from inside the barrier, disturbing Tong Jing's mindset. He kept provoking him again and again, so Tong Jing didn't even notice when the trap formed around him. And when Hao Tian's voice echoed from inside the barrier, Tong Jing thought Hao Tian was still trapped. But in reality, Hao Tian used the smoke to sneak behind him." Xiao Tianlu added, "Creating such a dangerous strategy, no ordinary person could do that. If junior brother Hao Tian's cultivation were a little higher, even I might have been in danger." Jiang Du frowned. "I don't know why, but I feel Hao Tian isn't as simple as he looks." Hall Master Lan spoke. Despite his weak cultivation, Hao Tian defeated Tong Jing. He used a talisman, created a formation, and built a strategy Tong Jing couldn't escape. Everything Hao Tian did was carefully planned. Hall Master Tang snapped angrily, "Hao Tian got lucky. If Tong Jing hadn't been careless, Hao Tian wouldn't have won." Another Hall Master added, "Hall Master Gu, your sect is filled with impressive people. First Zhao Rui, now Hao Tian, both extraordinary." Hall Master Gu replied humbly, "Our disciples aren't anything special." The host announced the next match. Next match, Jiani versus Lan Jin. Lan Jin said, "Senior sister, my strength is far below yours. But as a sword cultivator, I want to learn properly so I can correct my mistakes and grow stronger." Lan Jin was ranked 8th among the 27 true disciples, and cultivated at Purple Chaos Level 4. Jiani said, Lan Jin, use your full strength. Fight until the end. Only then will you truly grow. Lan Jin replied, No, senior sister, don't misunderstand. I'm going to use whatever means necessary to try and win. Everyone gasped. What is he doing? He took a god-breaking void-crushing pill at the start of the match. Hall Master Gu explained, that pill increases spiritual power by 50%, but it severely damages your foundation. Winning one match is not worth it, so why is he doing this? Sect leader Wen Jian said, he wants to level up. Using the pill gives him a chance to break through to Purple Chaos Level 5. Many cultivators get stuck at the Purple Case 4th level forever. Sword cultivators especially struggle unless they grasp the essence of sword intent. Hao Tian thought, he's willing to risk ruining his foundation just to level up, but fighting senior sister Jiani will still be extremely difficult for him. Jiani launched a terrifying sword strike. Lan Jin thought, what kind of power is this? Even after using the pill, I can't do anything. She's blocking all my attacks and closing the distance fast. But as he continued to fight, Lan Jin started observing her sword intent, and slowly, step by step, he began to improve. Hall Master Lan said, Lan Jin has understood her sword intent. By fighting Jiani, he is advancing with every move. Then, Lan Jin broke through to Purple Chaos Level 5. But just as he was about to attack again, a powerful strike from Jiani disarmed him, knocking his sword away. Jiani said calmly, Lan Jin, this match is over. The host announced, the winner is Jiani. Everyone praised her, Sister Jiani is incredible. She ended the match so quickly. Lan Jin bowed deeply, Senior sister, I'll never forget your kindness. He thought, she could have defeated me at any time, but she let me grow, she helped me break through. I can never repay this. Jiani said, Brother Lan, there's no need to be so emotional. We're from the same sect. Helping each other is our duty. Lan Jin thought, Jiani is amazing. Now I understand why she's the #1 true disciple. No one in the sect can compare to her. Other disciples said, with Sister Jiani, we will definitely win the Heavenly Summit. But on the other hand, our sect also has that loser Hao Tian. They said he didn't even use sword techniques in his fight. He only won because of luck. Suddenly, Jiani unleashed a fierce aura. How dare you speak like that? Apologize to Hao Tian right now. Seeing her anger, the disciple panicked. Hao Tian was thinking, why is Jiani doing this here? Her reacting like this in front of everyone is not good for me at all. The disciple who insulted him said, we were just talking about Hao Tian's fighting style. Jiani responded sharply, you weren't talking, you were mocking him. Being part of the King Tian sword sect isn't only about sword cultivation, it's also about learning how to behave. Senior brother Hao Tian not using sword techniques was his strategy. And honestly, none of you are in any position to talk. You practice for a short while, and then sleep the rest of the time. With that attitude, how will you ever grow? How dare you judge someone else? Everyone whispered, Senior sister Jiani is standing up for Hao Tian. Now I understand why she's the top disciple. She even respects other disciples. Even though Hao Tian didn't use sword techniques, his achievement is still impressive. If senior sister Jiani is speaking for him, she must have a reason. The disciple, embarrassed, bowed and said, Senior brother Hao Tian, please forgive me. I spoke nonsense. I didn't mean any of it. Hao Tian replied, it's fine. I didn't take it to heart. Hall Master Gu said, being superior yet so humble, guiding Lan Jin to improve his cultivation, and defending her sect members, Jiani, you truly deserve to be called a sword immortal. Jiani added firmly, from today onward, if anyone speaks badly of another sect member, I will not spare them. We all belong to the same sect. Speaking ill of each other is unacceptable. Instead of gossiping, focus on your cultivation. That will actually benefit you. She turned to Hao Tian and asked, Senior brother, is it alright if I remain by your side for a while? Hao Tian replied, you can stay. I don't mind. All the disciples murmured. Jiani protected Hao Tian. We still don't understand why. Hao Tian asked her, why did you do that? What was the point? Jiani said, Senior brother Hao Tian, no one should speak badly about you. Forget them, tell me instead. How was my performance in the fight? Hao Tian said, no one asked you to do all this. Now everyone's attention will be on me because of your actions. Jiani replied, Senior brother Hao Tian, your sword intent is incredible. And thanks to your divine stone tablet, my strength increased a lot. You don't care about fame or reputation, but you've helped me tremendously. So I won't allow anyone to insult you. Hao Tian sighed. Why are you still standing here? If you stay, people will think something strange. Jiani said, the truth is, I have some doubts, so I wanted to take the opportunity to ask you and clear them. Hao Tian said, stop talking nonsense. I'm not your teacher. Jiani smiled, Senior brother Hao Tian, if you don't teach me, I can't guarantee what I might do. I don't care what people think about me. Hao Tian said, fine, fine. Ask what you want, I'll answer. Meanwhile, Lu Jin was watching and thought, Jiani has been staying around Hao Tian a lot lately. Could it be that they're secretly in a relationship? She's the top-ranked disciple, and he's almost last. Maybe that's why she hides it from everyone. At that moment, another female disciple, Sister Quan, arrived. She said, Hao Tian and Jiani definitely have a relationship. Look at them, secretly communicating. This only happens between lovers. I suspected it before, but now it's confirmed. This is sensational news. Lu Jin panicked. Please don't spread this. I'll be in huge trouble. Sister Quan said, don't worry, I'll be careful. You stay here, I have things to do, Lu Jin thought. I hope Sister Quan doesn't cause trouble. But as soon as Quan reached the female disciples, she said, girls, big news. Come quickly, we need to talk. She then repeated everything. Don't tell anyone, I heard it from someone else. Later, Hao Tian noticed that after clearing her doubts, Jiani immediately started cultivating nearby. He thought, she really deserves to be the top disciple. She never wastes a single moment. The host announced, the second round has ended. Sect leaders and hall masters have decided that today's competition is over. All disciples should rest. The third round will begin tomorrow. Hao Tian said happily, great, it's finally time to sleep. All disciples left the arena. At night, inside the sect leader's hall, an investigator reported, Sect leader, I've completed the investigation. Among all disciples, 5 of them acted very suspiciously, and 3 of them belonged to the Flowing Cloud sect, Jiang Du, Zhao Rui, and Hao Tian. Hall Master Gu was shocked. Sect leader, what are you implying? Are you saying the traitor comes from our Flowing Cloud sect? The story narrates, everyone from King Tian's sword sect has gathered, trying to identify who betrayed them. Hall Master Gu was attacked. Disciples were targeted repeatedly by demon sect elders, and this entire competition is actually a method to expose the traitor. Sect leader Wen Jian said, Hall Master Gu, all 3 suspicious disciples are from your sect. And when I gave you the blood jade pill, you told no one. Before leaving the sect, you prepared everything in secret. Yet somehow, the demon sect still found out where you were going. Isn't that strange? Second elder, continue. Second elder said, in 1 year, these 3 disciples' power increased drastically. First, Jiang Du, 2 years ago, Purple Chaos second level, strength equal to Guanshen. Last year he defeated many strong disciples, rose to rank 3. Someone extremely powerful has been teaching him in secret. Second, Zhao Rui, was rank 33 last year, gained a mysterious skills from a secret realm, sudden breakthrough and mastery of an explosive technique. Third, Hao Tian, seems ordinary, but has many hidden secrets, became a true disciple only a year ago, was always lazy, no one ever saw him cultivate, yet during a mission, in just 2 days, he advanced 2 cultivation levels, mastered formation techniques at an unbelievable level, involved in every incident with the demon sect, defeated the demon elder, retrieved the blood spirit pill, possibly defeated a purple chaos realm cultivator, fought alongside Jiani, and witnessed demon sect movements, recently used formations and talismans no one has ever seen before, defeated 2 powerful purple chaos cultivators easily. In my opinion, Hao Tian has hidden far too many secrets, and what he shows the world is not his true power. So I believe Hao Tian is very likely the traitor. Sect leader and Hall Master Gu shouted immediately, that's impossible. Hao Tian cannot be the traitor. Seeing the shock on sect leader Wen Jian and Hall Master Gu's face, the investigator himself became stunned. Hall Master Lan says gravely, is it possible that the person we believe to be Hao Tian is not actually him at all? What if the demon sect has taken control of Hao Tian's mind? Hall Master Gu responds, Hall Master Lan, what exactly do you mean? Hall Master Lan continues, it's possible that during a mission, an elder of the demon sect seized control of his consciousness. Hall Master Gu replies thoughtfully, I can believe that Hao Tian may have been hiding his cultivation. Sometimes I even feel that Hao Tian is extremely powerful, but as for a change in behavior, he has never changed. I don't think anyone is controlling him. If that were the case, why would he give us the blood spirit pearl? And why would he kill a demon sect elder? That's why all these accusations against Hao Tian don't seem logical to me. Hall Master Tang suggests, let's summon everyone who's under suspicion, and interrogate them. It's simple. Sect leader Wen Jian immediately objects, Hall Master Tang, that would be a huge mistake. Doing that would alert the real culprit. If we investigate, we must do it discreetly. For some reason, I have a bad feeling, the demon sect will definitely launch an attack during this competition. Second elder asks, Patriarch, what do you mean? Wen Jian explains, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe the demon sect has deliberately arranged this situation. They plan to take advantage of the competition and attack us. Gather everyone under suspicion in one place. By observing their behavior, we'll know who's acting differently, and we'll also learn the demon sect's true plan. Later, Hao Tian speaks gently. According to your wishes, you want to come with me tomorrow to watch my fight? Hearing this, Yiwan becomes very happy. Hao Tian adds, I know you're bored, but you're not allowed to participate in the inter-sect competition. Once I lose, or when this competition ends, we'll go out and have fun. Yiwan was disappointed, but suddenly she senses something strange. She grabs Hao Tian's hand and pulls him away. Hao Tian protests, where are you taking me? It's already time for me to sleep. Don't disturb me. Soon, Yiwan brings him to a mountain. Hao Tian frowns. Yiwan, this is the back mountain of the Flowing Cloud sect. Why are we here? Yiwan points ahead. There's something here. Hao Tian sighs. Fine. If you say something's here, I'll check it. Suddenly, Yiwan launches a powerful attack. Hao Tian was shocked. What is this formation flag doing on this mountain? This is a high-grade formation flag. It was placed here to block spiritual energy. I could easily destroy it, but that would alert whoever placed it. Besides, as long as the Patriarch is here, we won't be in danger. But judging from this formation, these flags are spread all around our sect. If the demon sect attacks and King Tian is seriously injured or killed, I won't be able to maintain my stable life anymore. Hao Tian asks, Yiwan, how did you find this formation flag? Yiwan tries to explain, but Hao Tian doesn't fully understand at first. Then Hao Tian asks, when you were absorbing the energy of heaven and earth, did you see someone placing this formation flag? Do you remember what that person looked like? Yiwan uses her powers to recreate the person's face. Hao Tian's expression darkens. So it was Zhao Wei. I already felt something strange about him. Now it's clear, he's allied with the demon sect. Removing all these formation flags will be extremely difficult, so I'll leave a soul imprint here. That way, if the formation activates, I can teleport here instantly. Hao Tian places a soul imprint near the formation flag. He mutters, now your plan won't work. Yiwan begins to speak again, but Hao Tian interrupts. So you want credit for discovering this. That's why you want to fight alongside me in the competition. But I already told you, the sect rules forbid you from participating. Yiwan pulls out a talisman angrily and shows it to him. Hao Tian raises an eyebrow. If talismans are allowed, what's wrong with using a divine beast? There are no strict rules in the inter-sect competition. Talismans, formations, secret weapons, anything goes. So using a divine beast in battle shouldn't be a problem. Hearing this, Yiwan becomes extremely happy. Hao Tian sighs. I'm sorry, Yiwan, but I'm going to lose tomorrow. Even if I take you with me, I won't be able to do anything. Yiwan freezes in shock. The next day, we see the host announcing, the intersect competition is about to resume. All 20 disciples who have advanced to the next round, please step forward. The crowd starts whispering among themselves. Look, Sister Jiani is here. She's definitely going to win. The host suddenly pauses. Wait a moment, why hasn't Hao Tian arrived yet? The crowd agrees. That's true. Hao Tian isn't here. How can he be late for such an important competition? Hall Master Tang angrily says, that bastard Hao Tian, what does he think the inter-sect competition is? Hall Master Gu replies calmly, honestly, Hao Tian's habits are terrible. He always does everything at the last minute. Whenever I ask him, he says he only works a 9 to 5 schedule. Don't worry, he'll definitely show up. Hall Master Tang snaps, he's making everyone wait. How can he treat this competition so casually? Hall Master Lan suggests, if Hao Tian has such a bad attitude toward this competition, why don't we just disqualify him? The second elder quickly responds, elders, don't forget what sect leader Wen Jian said. If we don't properly investigate Hao Tian, we could face serious trouble. Sect leader Wen Jian nods. The second elder is right. I'll speak to the elder Zhao, and ask him to delay the competition slightly. He turns to Hall Master Gu. Send someone immediately to bring Hao Tian here. Hall Master Gu agrees. Understood, Patriarch. Through spiritual transmission, when Jian orders, Elder Zhao, this matter is urgent, you have to delay this competition. Elder Zhao was confused. What's going on? The Patriarch is making over 10,000 disciples, and more than 10 Hall Masters wait, just because of one disciple's bad habits? Elder Zhao announces loudly, Hao Tian has important business, which is why he's late. Everyone, please remain calm, and wait a little longer. The crowd grows angry. How dare he? Disqualify Hao Tian, he doesn't deserve to compete. King Tian Sword Sect's top disciple arrived on time, but Hao Tian didn't. Suddenly, Jiani speaks firmly, everyone, be quiet and stop talking nonsense. Each cultivator has their own way of cultivation. Some read scriptures while waiting, some stay close to heaven and earth. Senior brother Hao Tian's cultivation method is simply different. We should respect that. I ask everyone to wait a little longer for brother Hao Tian. Jiang Du adds, I don't mind waiting for brother Hao Tian. Zhao Tianlu says, my goal is to defeat Jiani. If she wants to wait for Hao Tian, I have no objections. Gradually, Others agree. Waiting a bit won't harm us. Gianni smiles. Thank you, senior brothers and sisters. But suddenly, someone shouts, I don't agree. Hao Tian is only at the 8th level of the spiritual realm. Why should we waste time waiting for him? This man is Wang Dao, ranked 12th among the true disciples. Gianni responds calmly, Brother Wang, Hao Tian has come this far. He deserves at least one chance. Wang Dao sneers, even if he shows up, he'll be eliminated anyway. Waiting for him is pointless. At that moment, an overwhelming pressure descends upon Wang Dao. Terrified, he stiffens. Gianni asks gently, Senior Brother Wang, will you wait for Hao Tian or not? Wang Dao swallows nervously. Well, waiting a little longer won't hurt. Elder Zhao announces, since that's the case, everyone please wait. Many disciples mutter angrily, Hao Tian is such a jerk, making everyone wait this long. 2 hours later, someone finally rushes in. Senior Brother Hao Tian, hurry. Everyone's waiting. Hao Tian yawns. We're already here. Why are you rushing? When Hao Tian looks around, he sees many irritated faces. He bows slightly. Everyone, please forgive me. I'm very late. He thinks to himself, I've gotten too used to my 9-to-5 lifestyle. I forgot to set an alarm, so I ended up 2 hours late. At least the patriarch didn't disqualify me. He notices something strange. Why aren't the female disciples angry? They're blushing instead. Is it because I'm too handsome? The female disciples whisper among themselves. Did you see how Gianni stood up for Hao Tian? That proves Hao Tian is definitely Gianni's cultivation partner. Another girl replies, lower your voice, it's just a rumor. There's no proof yet. I heard they meet secretly, because they're afraid the hall masters will punish them. Others giggle. This sounds just like a novel. Still, cultivation is the most important thing. That's why we read novels, to distract ourselves. Sect leader Wen Jian announces, now let's see who will fight whom in the 3rd round. Hao Tian thinks, why is the patriarch controlling the draws? I got number 1. Does that mean they want me to fight first? Soon, the first match of the 3rd round is about to begin. Sect leader Wen Jian declares, the competition has reached a critical stage. All disciples who made it this far are exceptional. Fight confidently. I believe none of you are cowards, who will surrender immediately. Even if you don't reach the finals, give it your all. Our sect's motto is simple, never give up. Hao Tian thinks nervously, it feels like all of this is aimed at me. If I surrender now, I'll make the entire sect my enemy. Patriarch, you will not get tea leaves for this month. Finally, Hao Tian's opponent was announced. Wang Dao, a cultivator at the 1st level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Wang Dao sneers and says, you keep using the same technique over and over again. Do you really think this technique will work against me? As soon as he says this, he launches a powerful strike at Hao Tian. Because of this attack, all of Hao Tian's talismans were instantly destroyed. Hao Tian thinks to himself, Wang Dao has already figured out the weakness of talismans. When more than 30 talismans activate at once, they take a long time to recharge spiritual energy. Wang Dao closes in from behind. Hao Tian uses 100 Inferno Dragon Claws, but Wang Dao blocks it using Water Palm. Wang Dao mocks him, if this is all you can do, you should just surrender. The attacks coming next will be far more dangerous. He launches another deadly attack, but the Hao Tian he strikes wasn't real. It was only a clone. As soon as the clone was destroyed, Wang Dao attacks the real Hao Tian directly. Hao Tian thinks, so this is it, I'm finally going to lose. Suddenly, a terrifying energy bursts out from the wooden tablet in Hao Tian's pocket. Wang Dao freezes on the spot. He shouts in panic, what's happening? Why can't I move? Who is stopping me? Come out. Seeing that energy, Hao Tian realizes, that's definitely Yuan. He thinks in shock, when did she come here? Hao Tian remembers the wooden tablet in his pocket, an ancient tablet made from a 1,000-year-old sacred tree. It's said that divine beasts like Yuan live inside ancient trees to strengthen their origin energy. Did Yuan put this tablet in my pocket while I was asleep? Wang Dao retreats in fear, thinking, what kind of attack was that? My entire body was frozen. Suddenly, another invisible attack strikes Wang Dao. He looks behind him, but no one was there. Another attack was about to land, but Wang Dao barely jumps away. He yells, Hao Tian, what is going on? What did you do to me? Hao Tian calmly replies, I didn't do anything. You can see that for yourself. Hao Tian thinks, Yuan easily defeated 3 cultivators from level 3 of Purple Chaos Realm before. Anyone below that level won't stand a chance against her. He shouts urgently, Yuan, stop attacking and come back to me. But Yuan continues launching terrifying attacks at Wang Dao. The crowd panics. What is happening? Who is attacking senior brother Wang? Wang Dao is being attacked repeatedly but can't fight back at all. Enraged, he shouts, Hao Tian, you used a cheap trick. Now you'll see how powerful my forbidden technique is. Before he can act, Yuan attacks again. The force slams Wang Dao violently into the ground. Finally, Wang Dao shouts, "Enough! I surrender." Hao Tian quickly says, "Yuan, stop. The match is over." The crowd erupts in confusion. What just happened? What was that thing? Hao Tian thinks, outsiders cannot see Yuan's true form. He scolds her quietly, "Yuan, I told you to stay at home. Why did you come here?" Yuan immediately puts on an innocent expression. Hao Tian sighs, "Why did I bring such a mischievous child with me?" Wang Dao angrily shouts, "That was a divine beast. This was cheating." Elder Zhao, Hao Tian brought a divine beast into the fight. This was a 2 versus 1 battle. It's unfair. The crowd explodes. So that black shadow was a divine beast? No wonder Hao Tian has so many tricks. That divine beast looks incredibly powerful. What species is it? Hall Master Tang shouts, "Hao Tian cannot be declared the winner. He cheated. Throughout the competition, he never once used a sword. The sect has never taught disciples how to control divine beasts. This clearly proves Hao Tian is connected to the demon sect." Hall Master Gu immediately snaps back, "Stop talking nonsense. There are no rules in this competition. Hao Tian is only at the 8th level of the spiritual realm. It's extremely difficult for him to rely solely on techniques. Using talismans and a divine beast is not against the rules." Sect leader Wen Jian raises his hand. "Enough. I deliberately arranged Hao Tian to fight Wang Dao. The goal was to force Hao Tian to reveal all his tricks. That way, we could determine whether he was connected to the demon sect. I didn't expect him to have a divine beast, but that divine beast is Yuan, a creature never seen before. If Hao Tian were truly from the demon sect, he would never reveal such a rare divine beast in public." Hall Master Tang hesitates. "But why would a divine beast help a normal disciple?" The second elder speaks firmly, "Everyone, listen carefully. Our main objective is to find the traitor. If Hao Tian tamed the divine beast himself, then it is part of his strength. He did not break any rules." Hall Master Gu nods. The second elder is right. Sect leader Wen Jian announces, "In that case, the winner of this match is Hao Tian." The crowd murmurs. "So divine beasts are allowed in this competition?" Wang Dao glares furiously and shouts, "Hao Tian, just wait. The moment I get another chance, I'll kill you." Yuan immediately launches another terrifying attack. Wang Dao screams in fear and flees at full speed. Hao Tian thinks, so the patriarch really didn't count this as breaking the rules. He says gently, "Yuan, go back now." Yuan disappears. Elder Zhao announces, "The next round will begin shortly." Scene shifts to the underground caves of Qingyun City. Inside the cavern, many demon sect elders have gathered. All of them were cultivators above the 8th level of the Purple Chaos Realm. Qingyun City is located very close to the King Tian Sword sect. Suddenly, everyone kneels. "Greetings, Lady Sea of Blood." A woman steps forward and says coldly, "There's no need for such formality." She was the patriarch of the Sea of Blood sect, and her cultivation was at the 4th level of the Transcendent Realm. Lady Sea of Blood says, "We have already set up formations around the King Tian Sword sect. Now, all we need to do is activate them and completely destroy the sect." A demon sect member says confidently, "The King Tian Sword sect will be destroyed easily. That formation is extremely powerful. The only problem is that sect leader Wen Jian is at the 6th level of the Transcendent Realm, and many hall masters are also at the Transcendent Realm." Lady Sea of Blood replies calmly, "Don't worry at all. Our Lord has sent 2 more cultivators to assist us." We then see Patriarch Jianba of the Demon Cloud sect, who is at the 4th level of the Transcendent Realm, and also the Patriarch of the Jianin sect, who is at the 3rd level of the Transcendent Realm. The demon sect members exclaim, "There are 3 patriarchs standing here. With their help, the King Tian Sword sect will definitely be destroyed." Lady Sea of Blood says, "All 3 of us are at the Transcendent Realm. On top of that, the formation will heavily suppress their spiritual energy. Today, the King Tian Sword sect is guaranteed to fall, and the demon lord we worship will be able to descend upon this world once again." On the other side, inside the King Tian Sword sect, the top 6 disciples were announced. Jiani from the Hidden Mirror Hall, Zhao Rui from the Flowing Cloud sect, Zhao Tianlu from the Clear Heart Hall, Wang Lan from the Wind Spirit Hall, Jiang Du from the Flowing Cloud Hall, Hao Tian from the Flowing Cloud Hall. The crowd murmurs in shock. Unbelievable. Hao Tian reached the finals just by relying on tricks. Sect leader Wen Jian announces, "The final battle of this competition will take place inside this map." This map was left behind by the ancestors of the King Tian Sword sect. It contains skies, earth, mountains, rivers, and countless treasures. It is a secret realm belonging exclusively to our sect. We will use this map as the arena. Over time, the safe area will continue to shrink. Anyone who fails to reach the safe zone will be eliminated. While you are fighting inside, I will broadcast your battles to everyone outside. Hao Tian thinks to himself, "This feels like a live-streamed PUBG match. If I deliberately lose here, everyone will get suspicious. Looks like I'll have to keep acting." Sect leader Wen Jian asks, does anyone have any objections? Everyone replies, no. Sect leader Wen Jian says, good, all 6 of you may enter. He then sends all 6 disciples into the map. Hall Master Gu quietly says, the patriarch has a very dangerous plan. This map is linked to his heart and bloodline, which means he can control it instantly. No matter who tries to betray the sect inside this map, they won't be able to do anything. All we need to do is observe carefully. We'll soon find out who the real traitor is. Elsewhere, 2 figures whisper to each other, what should we do, brother? They've entered the map, and we have no way to activate the formation from outside. The other replies, don't worry, Brother Zhao already anticipated this situation. Come with me to the Flowing Cloud Hall, everything has already been prepared. Inside the map, Hao Tian looks around and says, this forest is beautiful. It reminds me of the world I came from. When the map opened, I observed carefully. I think I appeared in the northwestern corner, near Peach Blossom Spring. If I head toward the center, and wait near Peach Blossom Spring, I'll quickly encounter the other disciples. All I need to do is act and lose to someone. Suddenly, a deadly attack strikes toward Hao Tian. He swiftly dodges it. Hao Tian smiles and says, so it's you. It was Jiang Du from the Flowing Cloud Hall. Jiang Du says, junior brother Hao Tian, it's been a long time. The last time we met was a year ago during a mission. At that time, I saw you use an extremely terrifying sword strike. Hao Tian was startled and replies, senior brother Jiang Du, you still remember that? Jiang Du nods. Because of you, my power increased greatly. I've realized there are many things in this world still worth learning, but that technique of yours was truly impressive. Hao Tian thinks nervously, this entire thing is being live-streamed. If I reveal my true strength, the sect leader will notice. The more ability I show, the more they'll exploit me. They'll completely destroy my peaceful 9-to-5 lifestyle. No matter what happens, I can't let that happen. He says aloud, senior brother Jiang Du, if you want to fight, I'm ready. But I think using full power here would be dangerous. Jiang Du thinks, junior brother Hao Tian is finally getting serious. Hao Tian suddenly says, senior brother Jiang Du, look behind you. Jiang Du turns around. There's nothing there. When he looks back, Hao Tian has already escaped. The crowd outside erupts. Hao Tian is such a coward. There's a huge gap in strength between them. Running away on the battlefield is shameful. But did you hear what senior brother Jiang Du said? Is it possible that Hao Tian is actually stronger than him? Could Hao Tian be hiding his real strength? Jiang Du shouts, Hao Tian, stop right there. He thinks, I won't let him escape. I must do this. Jiang Du launches a devastating attack. He says coldly, Hao Tian, you keep dodging my attacks with ease. That alone proves your strength. So why are you running? Hao Tian replies calmly, senior brother, you're mistaken. My cultivation level is very low. I can dodge your attacks only because I'm extremely lucky. The crowd was stunned. Hall Master Tang says, how can a disciple from King Tian's sect be this shameless? He's saying he's just lucky. Hall Master Lan frowns. Jiang Du repeating this again and again is strange. What if Hao Tian is actually an expert with extraordinary abilities? His luck alone already defies common sense. No one can be this lucky, the second elder said. The behavior of these two is very suspicious. That means one of them must belong to the demon sect. Sect leader Wen Jian, why don't you activate the map and force the two of them to fight? That way, we'll immediately find out who the traitor is. The sect leader replied, second elder, that's a good idea. Very well, I'll force them to fight. Just then, terrifying energy began pouring out from the mountain in front of them. Seeing that energy, everyone was shocked. Sect leader Wen Jian exclaimed, that's demonic energy. Zhao Rui's companions said, brother Zhao Rui truly thought of everything in advance. Once the formation is activated, reinforcement will appear here. King Tian Sword Sect, you will all be finished very soon. As soon as he said that, the formation was activated. The moment the formation activated, Jianni immediately sensed something was wrong. Hao Tian was also shocked and said, senior brother, look behind you. Jiang Du replied coldly, Hao Tian, do you really think I'm that stupid? I won't fall for the same trick again. Hao Tian thought to himself, I can clearly feel the energy here. Someone has activated the flag. That means the King Tian Sword Sect is in grave danger. Everyone shouted, what's going on? Where did this formation come from? Sect leader Wen Jian said, this is a demonic formation. That means there's a spy within our sect. All the hall masters rushed forward and attacked the formation, but nothing happened. Hall Master Gu said, neither spiritual attacks nor physical attacks are working. This formation is extremely powerful. Breaking it will be very difficult. Hall Master Lan added, this is the sky-covering spirit sealing formation. It suppresses all spiritual power. To destroy it, we must either attack from the outside or find and destroy the formation flag. There is no other way. Sect leader Wen Jian ordered, All disciples, spread out and search for the formation flag. Destroy it as soon as you find it. Just then, Lady Sea of Blood stepped forward and said calmly, there's no need to do that. Master Wen Jian, the King Tian Sword sect is about to be completely destroyed. Sect leader Wen Jian said angrily, Lady Sea of Blood. Lady Sea of Blood smiled and replied, you still remember my name? How thoughtful of you. The sect leader said, the patriarch of the Demon Cloud sect, Jiang Ba, and the Dark Abyss sect, Li Hua, are also here. How dare you demon sect members attack the King Tian Sword sect? It seems we'll have to show you just how powerful the 6th stage of Transcendent Realm truly is. You think you can defeat me with mere 4th level power? As he said that, he unleashed a terrifying attack. But Lady Sea of Blood easily blocked it and deflects it to the other side. She said calmly, Master Wen Jian, your attack is impressive. But let me be clear, it won't work. Master Wen Jian is guaranteed to die today. At that moment, a devastating attack struck Master Wen Jian, causing blood to spill from his mouth. All the hall masters panicked. Sect leader Wen Jian said in disbelief, that is the power of the demon god. Long ago, the demon sect attacked the King Tian Sword sect using the demon god's power, but they were defeated, and that power was completely sealed. So how do they have the demon god's power again? Hall Master Gu asked urgently, Patriarch, how did Lady Sea of Blood obtain the demon god's power? Lady Sea of Blood replied coldly, take the map from Master Wen Jian. The Hall Master shouted, we won't let you do that. Everyone, protect the sect leader. But the demon sect members launched powerful attacks, and successfully seized the map from sect leader Wen Jian. The Hall Masters cried out in shock, how is this possible? They truly possess the demon god's power. Then, all the demon sect members enter the map. The sect leader Wen Jian thought anxiously, this is bad. My connection to the map has been severely damaged. Lady Sea of Blood said confidently, don't worry, we all possess the demon god's power. In 2 hours, this formation will turn the King Tian Sword sect into a blood spirit pearl. So stay calm and contribute your lives to our divine demon lord. Soon after, the formation fully activated, and terrifying energy began leaking out of the disciples' bodies. People screamed in panic, what's happening? Are we going to die? Lady Sea of Blood said coldly, don't worry, not a single member of the King Tian Sword sect will survive. Enter the map and slaughter all the sect's prodigies. Meanwhile, Hao Tian dodged Jiang Du's attacks and pleaded, Senior Jiang Du, please stop fighting. Can't you see how terrifying the energy release is? Jiang Du sneered, Hao Tian, stop playing tricks and fight properly. As he spoke, Jiang Du unleashed a powerful attack. Hao Tian thought, I have no choice. I must stop him. But suddenly, Hao Tian sensed something and realized, it seems, I don't need to do anything after all. He stepped aside, and Jiang Du's attack collided with another powerful attack mid-air. Jiang Du was shocked. Blocking the attacks, he shouted, Wang Wan, so you've joined this fight too? Wang Wan appeared. He was at the Purple Chaos 3rd level. He said calmly, Senior Jiang Du, I was only holding you back for a moment. I'm certain you noticed something earlier. The techniques I've mastered allow me to sense even the slightest disturbance. Earlier, an unfamiliar aura at the Purple Chaos 9th level entered this map, and from what I can tell, that person belongs to the demon sect. Hao Tian says, as you said, our sect has already been attacked, and the demon sect members have entered the map. Jiang Du said angrily, how is this even possible? The King Tian Sword sect is extremely powerful, and our sect leader has already reached the 6th level of the Transcendent Realm. Wang Wan replied, the Patriarch's connection to this map is slowly disappearing. That means his connection to the map is being severed bit by bit. If you don't believe me, you can verify it yourself. Hao Tian explained, this is a jade talisman. It was designed to forcibly eject someone from inside the map. If a major danger appears inside the map, you can exit directly using this. Jiang Du sneered, so that's how it is. I understand now, you're trying to trick us into withdrawing from the competition ourselves. Hearing this, Wang Wan was shocked. Hao Tian said calmly, there's no need to fight over this. This is a simple matter. Why don't we test it directly, and find out? As he spoke, Hao Tian crushed his jade talisman. Jiang Du thought, Hao Tian is acting strangely. He destroyed the talisman, yet nothing happened afterward. Seeing this, they all realized that something was definitely wrong with the sect. Suddenly, the formation opened, and someone entered. Jiang Du shouted, who are you? And how are you at the Purple Chaos 9th level? The demon sect member stepped forward and said coldly, you're far too late to realize it now. My name is Shen Huan, and I'm the one who will take your lives. Hao Tian said mockingly, you're quite polite for a villain. Shen Huan thought, he used talisman to cancel out my surprise attack. Laughing, Shen Huan said, I thought the Lord had wasted my power by sending me here. That's why I was only using 30% of my strength, so you wouldn't die too quickly. But you're not as weak as I expected. This is getting interesting. Wang Lan said in shock. This bastard is already terrifying, yet he claims he's only using 30% of his power. Who are you really, and how did you forcibly enter this map? Jiang Du demanded. What exactly has happened to the King Tian Sword sect? Shen Huan replied coldly. Your King Tian Sword sect will be destroyed very soon. In just 2 hours, it will be refined into a blood spirit pearl. There will be no trace of the King Tian Sword sect left in this world. Hearing this, both Jiang Du and Hao Tian were stunned. Hao Tian thought, I entered this place casually, yet such a massive disaster has already befallen the sect. Shen Huan smirked and said, before you die, use all your strength. At least entertain me a little. Jiang Du said firmly, Wang Lan, let's work together and finish this bastard. They both launched devastating attacks at Shen Huan. Hao Tian also activated his formation. Seeing this, Jiang Du said, Junior brother Hao Tian, are you still not going to use your sword technique? Shen Huan laughed. Blocking your attacks is incredibly easy for me. With that, he effortlessly blocked Jiang Du and Wang Lan's attacks. But suddenly, Hao Tian's talisman appeared in front of him and unleashed a powerful strike. Shen Huan laughed. Interesting. Now you'll see how strong 50% of my power really is. Before Shen Huan could attack Jiang Du again, Wang Lan intercepted him. At the same time, Jiang Du unleashed his flowing claw strike. A fierce battle erupted between Wang Lan, Jiang Du, and Shen Huan. Hao Tian thought, I've already created an escape route using my talisman. He then released his energy and transmitted it to the Patriarch. Hao Tian called out, Patriarch, can you hear my voice? The Patriarch replied in shock, Hao Tian, my connection to the map has already been severed. How are you communicating with me? Hao Tian explained, I used a technique to create a small pocket of space. What's happening to the King Tian Sword sect? Sect leader Wen Jian replied urgently, the demon sect has used the sky-covering spirit ceiling formation. We're all heavily injured and can barely hold on for 2 hours. Listen carefully, the demon sect has sent 2 extremely powerful experts to wipe out the entire sect. Be extremely cautious. Hao Tian replied calmly, don't worry, this situation isn't as hopeless as it seems. I contacted you for another reason. Last night, I discovered that someone planted a formation flag near our mountains, so I inserted my sword aura into it. If I destroy that flag, the formation will be temporarily crippled. Use that time to call for reinforcements. There are many formation flags here. Destroying even one will weaken the suppression of spiritual energy. Sect leader Wen Jian said firmly, if the suppression on us is lifted, we'll fight the demon cultivators to the death. Hao Tian, those 2 demon cultivators are extremely powerful. They've surely gone to assist Zhao Rui. If the situation worsens, retreat to the deepest part of Peach Blossom Spring. Take care of yourself. I don't want any disciples to be harmed. Hao Tian replied, Patriarch, you take care as well. I'm going to destroy the flag now. Soon after, Hao Tian destroyed the formation flag. Instantly, the formation stopped functioning. The demon sect members shouted in shock, what's going on? How did the formation break? Even Lady Sea of Blood was stunned. She said coldly, what's happening? Patriarch Jiang Ba said, one of the formation flags has been destroyed. Patriarch Li Hua added, no one from the King Tian Sword sect has moved, so who destroyed the flag? Sect leader Wen Jian shouted angrily, attack together. The formation has weakened. At the same time, Wang Lan used his spiritual energy to restrain Shen Huan from behind. Jiang Du launched a powerful attack. Shen Huan sneered, so this is how the great King Tian Sword sect fights? Yet, their attacks had no effect on him. Jiang Du and Wang Lan shouted in frustration, no matter what we do, it doesn't affect him at all. Suddenly, Shen Huan used demonic energy to restrain both of them. You've annoyed me enough, now it's time to die. Just then, Hao Tian shouted, wait a moment, have you forgotten about me? Shen Huan turned his attention toward Hao Tian. Hao Tian said calmly, are you only going to fight 2 people? I'm still here. Shen Huan thought, how did this brat get so close? Was I so busy fighting them that I ignored him? But then he sneered, it doesn't matter. You're far too weak. Once I kill these 2, you'll be next. Jiang Du shouted, brother Hao Tian, don't think about us, and run away as fast as you can. Hao Tian replied calmly, there's no need to panic. Besides, there's another disciple of the demon sect present here. Shen Huan thought to himself, although this guy is only at the spiritual realm, he's extremely calm. Is it possible that he has some hidden method to deal with me? Shen Huan said aloud, that man isn't like me. He must have already killed all the other disciples. Hao Tian asked calmly, may I ask, how strong is he exactly? Shen Huan replied arrogantly, there's no harm in telling you. He's at the Purple Chaos 9th level, but his state isn't stable. Hao Tian said softly, that information will be very useful to us. Shen Huan sneered, useful? What can you possibly do to me? At that moment, Hao Tian activated a talisman and said sincerely, please forgive me, but I have no choice. My working time for today has ended. I'll have to detain you here until tomorrow. A terrifying barrier instantly formed around them. Xinhuan roared, "You bastard. When did you set up this formation?" Hao Tian replied calmly, "While you were fighting the other two." Xinhuan laughed coldly, "I can destroy this formation with a single punch. And your two friends are still here. Are you really thinking of escaping and abandoning them?" Hao Tian replied, "As for my friends, that won't be a problem." He had already placed another formation on Jiang Du and Wang Lan, forcibly ejecting them from the barrier. Hao Tian said lightly, "All right, I'll see you later." With that, all three of them disappeared. Xinhuan shouted furiously, "How dare you try to escape? I'll shatter this formation in one blow." But then he realized something was wrong. "No matter what I do, I can't break it." He continued attacking, but nothing worked. Xinhuan roared in rage, "That bastard forced me to use my full strength. Hao Tian, just wait. I will never let you go." Meanwhile, the patriarch Jiang Bie said grimly, "These damn King Tian sword sect people keep attacking us. If not for the Lord's order, to refine them into a blood spirit pearl, I would have slaughtered them long ago, with the demon god's power." Lady Sea of Blood replied, "If I hadn't brought extra formation flags, this formation would have already been destroyed. Maintain the formation properly. We cannot afford to lose here." Hall Master Tang said, "I thought I'd fight the demon sect to the death today, but those bastards still have extra flags." Hall Master Gu added, "No matter what happens, we've already called for reinforcements. They plan to refine us in 2 hours, but now the time has been extended to 12 hours. Hall Master Tang sighed, "What difference does it make? We're still doomed." Sect leader Wen Jian thought silently, 10 hours is enough. Hao Tian, you must keep that place safe. The King Tian sword sect will definitely make a move. Hao Tian said reassuringly, "You can relax here. This is the safest place in Peach Blossom Spring." Jiang Du asked urgently, "Junior brother Hao Tian, what exactly did you do? You trapped a purple chaos 9th level demon cultivator so easily, he couldn't do anything against you." Hao Tian replied, "It was a preservation talisman given to me by the patriarch. Luckily, it came in handy, but I have very important news to share. The patriarch sent me a message earlier. Our lives are in great danger." In reality, the spy of the demon sect is none other than Zhao Rui. This entire King Tian sword sect has been trapped inside a massive formation. We only have 10 hours left. We 5 are the sect's last hope. Wang Lan said grimly, "Our entire sect is in danger because of that bastard Zhao Rui." And according to Xinhuan, another demon cultivator has also entered the map. If Jiani and others encounter him, they'll be in serious danger. We still have some strength left. We must help them. Hao Tian shook his head. The other demon cultivator is also at the purple chaos 9th level. If you go to help, you'll be putting yourselves in extreme danger. You're already injured. It's impossible for you to assist them directly. Jiang Du said angrily, "Then what are we supposed to do? Just sit here and watch them die?" Hao Tian replied firmly, "No, that's not what I'm saying. You stay here, heal your injuries, and recover your strength. As for Jiani and others, I already gathered information. The second demon cultivator is much weaker. I know Jiani's strength very well. I can guarantee she can handle him easily." Jiang Du nodded, "I agree. Jiani is extremely talented. But what if the other demon cultivator goes to help them?" Hao Tian smiled slightly, "Don't worry about that. I've already enraged Xinhuan badly. He likely used his full power to break the formation, and is now searching for us to take revenge." Meanwhile, Xinhuan growled, "What the hell is going on? Why is my spiritual energy draining so fast? What kind of formation was that? Hao Tian, just wait for me, you won't escape from my hands." Meanwhile, Hao Tian says, "This potion will fully restore your future foundation. Before Xinhuan finds us, recover as much as possible. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., we'll head to Jiani and save the King Tian sword sect." Wang Lan asked hesitantly, "But why wait until tomorrow? It's only 5 p.m. right now." Jiang Du said, "Wang Lan is absolutely right. We'll recover within 2 hours." Hao Tian replied casually, "It's actually very simple. I work a 9 to 5 job, and now that it's already 5 p.m., my working hours are over." After that, Hao Tian lay down to rest. He thought to himself, the demon sect came fully prepared. Even after destroying the formation flag, we only have 10 hours left. 10 hours from now, we'll have to leave this place to help them. It's time to sleep. I'm going to rest. Senior brothers, do not disturb me before 9 a.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, Jiani and Zhao Tianlu were fighting. Zhao Tianlu said, "Jiani, your techniques have improved a lot." Jiani replied humbly, "I didn't do much. If senior brother Hao Tian hadn't guided me, it would have been impossible for me to become this strong." Zhao Tianlu said in surprise, "What are you talking about? I don't even understand Hao Tian's techniques." Jiani replied, "Hao Tian's techniques are extraordinary. Compared to him, I'm nothing." Suddenly, a terrifying explosion shook the area. Jiani frowned, "Something's wrong." A strange formation was activated here earlier. Since then, I haven't been able to contact the Patriarch. Something must have happened to the King Tian Sword sect. We need to stop fighting. Zhao Tianlu replied coldly, what's happening outside has nothing to do with us. Testing our skills in the secret realm is what matters most. Jiani sighed, senior brother, please block your ears. A terrifying sound wave erupted, shattering nearby trees. Zhao Tianlu began bleeding slightly from his ears. He said nervously, if you hadn't warned me, my ears would have been ruined. Jiani replied seriously, stop talking and heal your ears using spiritual energy, or our sensory abilities will be damaged. That sound was extremely dangerous. Someone must have entered the secret realm. Soon, another demon sect cultivator appeared. He said mockingly, you're still standing after my sound wave? No wonder you're elite disciples of the King Tian Sword sect. Zhao Tianlu frowned. This man is releasing terrifying demonic energy. Jiani asked coldly, who are you? She thought to herself, why is a demon sect cultivator inside this map? What happened to our sect? The man replied proudly, my name is Meng Fan. I'm here on the Lord's orders, to kill all King Tian Sword sect disciples. Zhao Tianlu said, so you're from the Blood Sea sect. I've heard you possess a terrifying treasure called the Sky-Seeking Jade Conch. It's an ancient inheritance capable of releasing deadly sound waves and wiping out entire regions. Meng Fan laughed, you're well informed, but let me make this clear, you're going to die here. As he spoke, horrifying sound waves surged forward again. Zhao Tianlu said anxiously, fighting under these sound waves is impossible. Our spiritual energy will be drained quickly. The gap between our realms is too great. The longer this fight continues, the more dangerous it becomes. Jiani said calmly, senior brother, I have a technique that can kill him, but I need time. Zhao Tianlu nodded firmly, don't worry, I'll hold him back. He unleashed the King Tian sword technique, but it had no effect. Meng Fan sneered, I admit your sword techniques are impressive. You can even fight back against the Sky-Seeking Jade Conch, but it doesn't matter. You can't last any longer. It's time for you to die. He prepared to attack Zhao Tianlu, but suddenly, a terrifying wave of energy surged forward. Meng Fan froze in shock. Zhao Tianlu shouted, did you notice? Someone is missing here. Jiani smiled calmly, senior brother, thank you for buying me time. Meng Fan, prepare yourself. You're about to face my strongest move. She unleashed a devastating attack. Meng Fan laughed arrogantly, with your weak strength, you think you can kill me? My cultivation is far superior, you can't do anything. Jiani murmured softly, senior brother Hao Tian, from that sword mark, this is what I understood. I hope I'm not mistaken. Meng Fan screamed in disbelief, how is this possible? You're only at the Purple Chaos 5th level, and you neutralized my attack. The attack landed squarely on Meng Fan. Jiani said with relief, we finally won. If senior brother Hao Tian hadn't been here, we would have definitely died. Zhao Tianlu thought to himself, her sword intent has reached the highest level. Junior sister Jiani's realm is now far beyond mine. Even if I used everything I have, I couldn't match her. Jiani said seriously, senior brother, recover quickly. According to my judgment, demon sect members have already entered the secret realm. We could face an even greater danger soon. What happens next will be revealed in the next episode. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.